Hooray! Hi guys, it's a girl Lela Matams, also known as Gelo Z, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you'll be notified that Gelo Z I post a poka video. Thank you so much for more than 79,900 subscribers. Na totela sana. For those of you who would like to join the stream, please join us on the link that I've posted on my Facebook like page and my Facebook page. It's important that you guys join and be part of the stream. Thank you so much for your love, your support. I am so grateful. So this morning we woke up to social media, which was crazy, over some leaked videos of the Honorable Minister of Education. This is General Education Minister. I've never heard of him before, I must confess. Today was the first time I heard of Minister MABUMBA. I have never ever heard of him. And it's unfortunate that I heard of him during this negative circumstances. So here we go. For those of you on my YouTube channel and you like to join the stream, here is the link. I'm dropping the link now. Let me just greet a few people. Hi, Ben Gondwe. Ben Gondwe says, love you, mom. Thank you so much. Tuning Ethan, Mimi. Maureen Chifita, all the way from Brazil. Chris Spain. Isaac, how are you? Isaac from Zambia. Aniel Bell Kaunda, good to see you. Kuchimo says it's so shameful on my YouTube channel. I'm sure you can notice that I'm not in my normal environment. I'm somewhere far, but I've tried by all means to improvise with the lighting and everything. Yes, so hopefully you will be understanding. So don't forget to smash the thumbs up as well on my YouTube channel so that, we can get more likes on my YouTube channel. 192 people watching my YouTube channel plus Facebook. So more than 457 people have joined live over this topic. Now, it's unfortunate that Minister MABUMBA, I've just known him today after social media went crazy with, the minister's leaked video. And I had mixed feelings about this. I wasn't expecting obviously, we can't say we have not seen. We have all seen. At least 99% of you have seen the video. And it was shameful to just see even from a distance. And I saw, I'll mention him, George Mutonga said, oh, this is his private life. Now, I just want to explain a few things before I start, and I'm so happy with the decision that has been finally made. That's why I take my time before I talk about anything. If you are in a public office, your character in privacy and in public is very important. Regardless of whether you are a saint or you're not a saint, regardless of whether your video will leak or not, we have seen ministers worldwide being embarrassed by the so-called side chicks, and unfortunately, people will use any means to expose. So my take on this was the president of Zambia must fire this man with immediate effect, because his character, whether it was private or the girl exposed, he was blackmailed, he was offering 50,000 kwacha, he offered 10,000 kwacha. The fact remains, he is somebody in public service. When you're in public service, you represent the government, you are eating taxpayers' money, so you, the taxpayer, should be angry. Don't even support him and say, no, what about you? He who has not been stoned, who has not sinned, must stone first. That's tax. It's only somebody who doesn't pay tax that will say that. If you pay tax, you have the ability to demand that this person must be fired. So he's been fired. That's great news. There's lots of people who are waiting in the background. Let me bring on Alan and Black Son for them to contribute. Thank you so much. Hi, Alan, and hi, Black Son. Good to see you. What's your contribution on this matter? Thank you. Hi, Alan. How are you? I think they've lost you. Okay, I think they've lost signal. Let me remove them and see. Well, so for those of you who would like to join in, remember to always mute your volume, in the background. Yes, he has been fired. So let me read the letter from the president. You see, it's important that certain things happen and we know and we can expose the truth and what is going on. Okay, I can see Modern behind the scenes. Okay, let me just read something first before I invite him over. And I am excited because for the first time in our entire presidency, the president has acted, and it's good news. This is what we've been asking for. A little bit too late, but let's read. So this is on the Patriotic Front page. ECL fires MABUMBA. President Edgar Lungu has, with immediate effect, fired General Education Minister David MABUMBA. I didn't even know who he was. It simply shows that he's been sleeping on his job. Yeah, because I would have known who he was. The head of state and commander-in-chief of armed forces has since appointed Bwana Mkubwa, member of parliament, Dr. Jonas Chanda, as Minister of Water Development, Sanitization, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me read the letter. So, President, this is a letter, and it says urgent. That's a letter. It says urgent. Modern, just hold on for a bit. President Lungu terminates Honorable MABUMBA's appointment. Lusaka, which is Wednesday today. His Excellency Dr. Ed Republic of Zambia has terminated the appointment of the Minister of General Education, Honorable David MABUMBA, with immediate effect. That's all I wanted to hear the whole day today. I wanted to hear the word immediate effect, and it has come to pass. Don't support nonsense because you are a Christian nation. This is how we find ourselves in a predicament of, this person is humble, this person is holy, and at the end of the day, they don't mean well for you. Okay, let me add Modern behind the scene. Hi, Modern, how are you?
Yeah.
Please
fine,
mute
you,
all your
madam?
music because I will get a copyright strike from YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm
hello?
fine, thank you. Please mute all your music as well because I will. Yes, hello. Mute your music, please. No music or TV must play in the background because YouTube give us a copyright strike. They're very strict.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Your floor. You can say what you want to say. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, madam?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you.
I'm also happy, madam, to see you. Actually, I'm really surprised because it is the first time to see this on my smartphone. So, immediately when I was looking at the post and your. Yeah, it was last year when I saw you when you were talking about CR1. And that last time I was using a very small smartphone, but this time I'm having a big smartphone, so I'm even able to chat direct with you this time around. Now, I'm just happy that the president have with immediate effect fired Dr. MABUMBA. Now, the question that really,
Yeah, carry on, carry on.
Yeah, I'm only disappointed, madam, with one thing with our current president. He failed to fire Chitaru Chirufya. He is failing to discipline Boman Lusambo. He is failing to discipline the Home Affairs Minister, Stephen Kampyongo. And this time around, these guys, underground, they are pushing that they fire Inspector General of the Police, Dr. Kanganja, and the Bonica Peso. Now, all this shows that the president is just after other individuals, not those with whom he is in deep secrets with. So I would have praised the president if he fires the health minister, Boman Lusambo, and Nkanduluo. Yeah, with Nkanduluo, I'm actually very disappointed each and every time I hear her comments, because all she likes and talks is always about tribalism. So we have to look into it, because hello?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, we have to look into it, because this offspring or incoming generation, there will be chaos in this country if they continue with the tribalist talks each and every time. So the president should also act quickly on Kanduruo, Boman Lusambo, including Sunday Chanda. And I'm even, madam, I'm disappointed with Sunday Chanda. I don't know which hospital offered him such a certificate that he is holding Sunday Chanda.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all, madam, that I wanted to say.
And you see, this is what, I've always said, having lived in the UK for 16 years, there's certain principles that, your profession, I'm a qualified social worker, by the way, our profession is a protected title, regardless of whether you are a teacher, your profession is a protected title. Just like, a minister of education, you go and, see children in schools. You've just recently launched an e-learning and you said it was free. The children look up to you as an education minister. And these days with social media, so many children are watching right now. They've seen the video. It has gone viral. The video is unstoppable, So I wanted to play something from somebody, an elderly woman. It was quite powerful and touching. Yeah, carry on. What do you want to say?
Yeah, maybe he was teaching environmental science or biology. We don't know. Maybe he was part and parcel of because these guys, they introduced a TV station for education. So maybe he was trying to come up with one of the topics now misleading, or he was somehow confused and he produced his own body on the
It's obviously not nice, people do things in private, but what he did, honestly, he was set up for a trap. I wish he was clever, and I will say this again and again, please be careful with sending audios or videos to people via WhatsApp thinking it's private. There's nothing private. Thank you so much. Black Son, how are you? What would you like to say? Hold on, Black Son, hold on. Let me unmute your volume. Yeah, carry on, Black Son. What would you like to say? Yeah.
I just want to add on to what the minister did. As you know, that is the father. And to come on, like in PF now, it's the second time to happen. There's also another minister. I think he's still operating. He's still holding the position. He did the same, like issue of pornography, like he was having sex.
Yeah.
He was being caught also. But the president, I don't know if there's a connection with him, was not be fired. Yeah. He's still operating even now in parliament. Now the Minister of Education did the same thing, because if something happens, like you are able to do anything, because you know that there's no quality of leadership. So even the ministers, they can do anything because they know the weakness of the president.
Yeah.
Like what happened yesterday, and have you heard even the Minister of Religious Affairs, what he said? He knows that what happened is very
what
wrong.
Did she say?
Like why he said that what did the minister, it was that's not the original fault of him. It's not him.
Imagine.
Now he's a leader, he's trying to mislead people. People have already seen the truth. Then he's trying to close up that what has happened. It's not necessary. meaning the leadership
Yeah.
is somehow bent. It's bent. So instead
Yeah.
for them to say that, okay,
Yeah.
what has happened is like this, like, okay, the president has fired that minister of education. Yes, we understand it. But he needs to try by all means to control his administration. The administration is rotten. You need to strengthen the administration because people who are doing wrong things, there are a lot of them. There are a lot. So that even us youths were able to tell that this person is wrong. This our father is doing this because of this and this. We are able to identify them. Listen, today has been fired. Today has been fired. But him was having sexual, this is a sex or whatever, which was adding. But the Minister of Health is still operating, holding position of people. But it's the ACC that's investigating him. The president, he needs to take over. Let him become in charge. Let him be in charge to control the issue of wipe every minister. Need to wipe everyone. Oh. So this one is a challenge. This one is a challenge. There's no way we can come on board say that I'm controlling and firing this, leaving other things behind which are rotten. I think to me, even though to fire him, because these guys are already used. They are used. So let him clean up his administration first. The whole administration is rotten. The whole administration is rotten. First and foremost. He can fire him, but he's still coming back to the same problems because they are still working. Everything. There's no way. Like, let me talk about let me talk about. Let's talk about Home Affairs, Minister of Health. All these are people who are supposed to be out of the party because of there's some people who are representing Zambia. They are giving Zambia a bad picture.
Yeah.
They are saying that no corruption. That the people because they have known the weakness of the president. The president, he can't voice it out. Whatever they does is the same person trained by slide them. When people they are now saying no, what happens? We should stop this person. He get this when he gets a momentum, say that you are fired, but while it's working. So we need that the quality of leadership is too low. It's too very low. That's the position which is holding Mr. President. You need to have a voice to speak. When you stand on the media, when things are down, come out and stand up. Say that stop what you are doing. Do this. If you know that these guys that they can't even stop, fire them out. So even the Minister of Education, they're saying the private party that is not supposed to come out like the Minister of Regional Affairs. It's wrong. Very, very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. Very, very wrong. Making us youth not to become so angry. Now they're calling us disgruntled because now we are seeing what they are doing.
And the thing is, right, you expect to see such behavior from the young ones, but now this is an adult, going for someone's wife, and this person is married, and the desperation of women as well. And the desperation of women as well.
Let's talk about just like a Bobby's. What Bobby's did was being arrested. Bobby's was just a pig was arrested. Now the father, what? Now who's the father? The nation. Those are our fathers now. A musician was arrested. Was being paid almost 20,000. So, what about now the father? Who was found on the same act? What happened? Because the use of wish of corruption, so they'll continue doing the same. They'll continue doing the same. I think it's just a wipeout. And you are going to do so because wherever you go around Zambia, we are well organized. As for now, we are well organized because we have seen these things happening. Even to me, 2020 is my first time to vote. But we have tried by all means to do that. We will fight against it. Should be there now. They are taking things to be in their hands.
Okay, thanks so much.
We are useless. Thanks so much, Madam Lily. At least I'm enjoying the topic.
Thank you so much. We have so many people waiting. The studio is almost full now. But so much for your contribution, Black. I am grateful.
I have seen them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madam Lady.
Take care. So we have is it Chipote Kennedy? How are you? What would you like to say? And where are you watching us from? Hi, Chipote Kennedy. If not, can we have Yuli? Yulu, how are you, Yulu? Hi,
I'm okay. How are you?
Yulu is not there. Let me.
How are you?
Yeah, it's your turn to speak now. How are you? We need to see your face. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Lady?
Fine, thank you. What's your contribution for tonight's live stream?
I think my contribution, the MP need to be arrested. All animals are equal.
Yeah.
I have nothing much to say
Okay.
because it's my area MP, so he need to be arrested.
Yeah, he needs to be arrested. Hey, and obviously we've seen. I was watching a live stream from my good friend Nawa, and he was giving an example of Iris Kayingo and how she was really embarrassed during the time of her leaked video, and to a point whereby obviously she was arrested and she went through so many court sessions, and the minister was aware, he was in his sane mind. He knew what was going on when he was exchanging those videos with a young lady. But you see, the confusion in the current administration, has been led as a result of Zambia being neglected by the head. And this is what we've been talking about for a long time. So many things are taking place and the president has never spoken. Why isn't he speaking over the issues of Zambian suffering? We've had issues of gassing, we've had so many issues where he's never spoken. And therefore, the ministers as well are living a reckless life where they don't even care about their moral standards. They don't even care about the name of the government or the name of the party or anything, but they just care about what they will benefit and enjoy. Because if you check out even the conversation between him and the lady's husband, he was offering the guy 50,000 kwacha. To them, it's all about money. When we pay people money, they'll shut up. Well, it's not all about money. People are frustrated. And therefore, if you start even frustrating even their marriages right now, you are just causing even more harm to the family. Let me add Anami Muzo. Who else is here? Morgan, how are you?
I'm fine, madam.
Okay, Morgan,
Hello?
you've spoken, but I'm trying to see who. Morgan, you've spoken. I think there's Modern Junza.
Yeah, Modern Junza from Kalomo.
Yeah, so you are Modern, but there's also Morgan. Morgan, how are you?
Oh, okay.
Hi, Morgan. I can see Morgan walking, but Morgan can't hear what. Okay, Mr. Anamimuzo, how are you?
I'm all right, really. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for joining us on this live stream, live from Lusaka, Zambia.
Thank you. I would love to say something about the current situation that we're having in Zambia. Okay. As much as we have the result that is, the result of what we were expecting is what has happened. It's a lesson for us to learn. As much as it has happened to a government official, of which we're expecting him to be fired. But it's a pretty good example for us to learn as adults and as citizens at large. Such kind of behavior, it's not something that we should all condone. It's so unfortunate that it has happened to a government official. But as I would put it even in Bemba. Muchalo twaikara, it's a thing whereby abakalamba baringo kuchindika. Neni twaikala no muchinshi. So, you know, such acts, they are not good for elders, for elderly people. They are not good at all. Those are not acts we can even say, no, this is the government official. Is not part and parcel of the government and what. But such kind of acts, they are not good. It's unfortunate it has happened to the big man, of which he's been made an example for us to see, not for us to joke about, to laugh at him. No, at least we should learn one or two things out of what has happened. And I would love to congratulate the president for making a quick action on this one. At least he has, I don't know if he heard or he's seen himself, but at least he has responded to what the people have been crying for, than the past things that we've been experiencing in them, where people are crying and he's nowhere to be seen. At least this one, we should at least congratulate him. We should at least give him credit, though it's too late for him to be doing such kind of things. We're expecting him to be doing such kind of things way back. Thank you. That's what I wanted to contribute, really.
Yeah, and my question to you as well is it fair that Mao Sampa has been suspended from work?
You know, that's truthfully speaking, me, I'll speak on my own. I'm not speaking on what has happened, or what's happening on what. You know, truthfully speaking, that's so unfair, and it's not really a good thing that it has happened to our mayor in Lusaka and the mayor from the Copper Belt, because, you know, these are just guys who are just trying to do their work independently. They are not, I would say, they are not following what is happening in the party, or rather in the government, but they are trying to be somehow controversial with their works, you know. So probably it's unfortunate that it has happened the way it has happened, because I think such kind of action, we're expecting it from, to this.
We've lost him, I think, of signal. Let's add Chipotle Kennedy there. And for anyone else who would like to join the stream, please use the links that I have. Oh, okay. Yes, still speaking. Okay, I think I lost.
Hello?
Lost him again. Okay. And I'm also, you're welcome to come back. Chipotle Kennedy, are you here?
Really? Are you able to get me?
Hi. Yes, is this Chipotle Kennedy? Oh, yeah, okay. Anami Muzo, how are you?
Yes.
I'm okay. How are you, really?
Yeah. You can carry on. You can carry on because you were still speaking, but then we lost you a bit.
Sure. You know, it's unfortunate that all of a sudden we've seen from nowhere our mayor and the mayor from the Copper Belt have been put on hold so that some investigation can be done. You know, those things that were supposed to be done to the current Minister of Health. Even some other ministries where we're expecting some actions to be done. You know, we cannot have investigation going on that is on top of you. How do you investigate such a man who is in power, who can easily step on your head? So truthfully, I don't think there's fairness in what's happening. You know, we never know what's behind those and what really it's going on. Really, nobody understands, because, you know, there's no way you can do investigations while some people, they're in office, they are going to parliament, they're doing they are working freely, they're in power, they are busy threatening people at okay, let's say I'll cite an example of the Minister of Health. How do you investigate the minister while he's in power and the definitely evidence is under him? Evidence is underneath his subordinates. Now, how are you going to investigate the guy if at all is spearheading the whole lot of the ministry? if he's in charge of what's happened, who will speak against him? Who will rise against him? And now, you know, it's unfortunate because probably, I mean, personally, I've never heard anything controversial, rather something fishy from our mayor. It may be funny in some other ways, mouse some here and there, but I don't think he's as crazy as, or rather, let me not use a bad term here. I don't think he's as crafty as some other people, you know? We've never had something missing, money gone into a different, or rather unknown pharmacy, doing what, you know, we've never had such, you know? So probably I don't see where this whole thing is coming from, and personally I don't even support it, and I don't even I'm not in support of it, I would say.
Yeah. And obviously we were all disappointed when we heard that, you know, the Kitwe Mayor, Mr. Kangombe, and Lusaka Mayor have, you know, been suspended for a period of time by Charles Banda, who is a local government minister. But then when you look at, you know, the behavior towards them being suspended, yes, there's allegations here and there, but they shouldn't have been suspended as compared to Dr. Chilufya. We complained about it a few days ago that, you know, Dr. Chilufya, he doesn't deserve to be in any position in government. You know, he's representing the government, and yet he's the most corrupt person right now that we know. Why isn't he being suspended or even laid off? Does he know certain secrets that we don't know about regarding COVID-19 monies? And all of a sudden, we've heard a rise in COVID-19 in Zambia. Now, I was laughing a lot. You know,
really,
when
I can hardly get you. The network is kindly not good on my end. I don't know if at all.
Maybe it's on your end.
I can hardly get you.
I think it's your network on your end. For me, I was really I was expecting, you know, when I came into Zambia, the only people that test you, obviously, is the people at the airport. And they say that they call you in the 14 days period. I can tell you this, I've never received a call for 14 days. None of us, we put our numbers correctly. Twice, we never received any phone call. Even if we check the database of, you know, my network provider, MTN or Cell Z, the other number I put on, we never received not even 1 day phone call asking us, how are you feeling? Are you in quarantine? Nothing. So it looks like Dr. Chilufya knows something. That is why he is being protected. Because a lot of, not just Zambia, a lot of countries are using COVID-19 to gain from the foreign, you know, people that donate. As usual, we've been reliant on donations. That is why Dr. Chilufya is somehow untouchable. He knows a lot. And believe you me, very soon, a lot of truths will come out. Thank you so much for your contribution. Somebody is commenting on Facebook that Mao Sampa is a recycled politician, only there to enrich himself. He shouldn't have been a mayor in the first place. And you see, with Mao Sampa, yes, he needed a job, he needed something to keep him going. But the moment he apologized to the Chinese community, even on my YouTube channel with my subscribers, he lost credibility. Most people know that. And I did try to share a few videos of him. Before, when you share a video about Mao Sampa, you would get like 50,000 views on YouTube. You know, I've got a Nigerian friend of mine who shared videos of Mao Sampa. He went viral across even Nigeria and other places because people were commending him for the job he did. The moment he apologized, people now knew that, okay, he's not there for the people, but he's there for the job. Immediately he was asked to apologize. He should have resigned. It's better. But he decided to stay, and now he's suspended.
Yeah. And, you know, really, like you've said, the thing is, I think there are games behind the whole lot of what's happening. Like you've said, somebody was supposed to be fired, but, you know, there are issues that we don't even know why somebody has been kept. We don't know. Maybe if this somebody gets fired, somebody somewhere on top will be implicated in the matter. And you find that people like MABUMBA, they are just pawns in the game, you know, where they'll be told, you know, even that apology for MABUMBA, you would even tell, as you are watching the apology, you would even tell to say, this man is not really doing this from deep down his heart, but he's being forced to say what he was saying there. There are some other forces up beyond his capacity that were on him and telling him to say, can you do this? And you know, he wasn't just doing it for the sake of let's say as in just for the sake of his job or what, but he was just being forced to do. I would say he wasn't man enough to stand and defend his actions, I would say. But he was really forced to do that. So, you know, you wonder what's happening, you know. It's really sad, in fact.
And that's why he really lost credibility. If he had resigned, then people would have given him more respect. And you know, when he was suspended, my YouTube subscribers from all over the world, all they kept on saying was he deserved it because he should have resigned in the first place. And they say they saw it coming. It was a trap for him. And now he's been suspended over allegations. And now if they try to investigate and they even trap him to say, you are found guilty, he loses his job. You know, so I wish he had resigned. Okay, let me see. Morgan Banda. Oh, because people are losing signal. Let me see. Modern, unless you want to contribute.
Yeah, madam, hello? I want to contribute over. Hello?
Okay. Morgan Banda, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Okay, yeah, contribute, please, sir. Where are you watching us from?
I'm watching you from Zambia, Petauke.
Oh, Petauke. Yeah, we are both in Zambia. Yes.
Yeah.
Share with us your views about what is happening in Zambia.
It's really sad for the Ministry of Education, especially to the children, and the family at large. It's very embarrassing. But again, for the president, he has made a big mistake. He has fired somebody who is not even the issue that has happened to him doesn't even contribute to the economy of Zambia. He's supposed to fire the Minister of Health because he has the issues that the Zambia are looking forward to see whether is right or is wrong on the issue of what happened to him. But the president has just decided to fire somebody who has just done something which does not even contribute to the economy of Zambia. Otherwise, it's really sad for him and the family for what happened. Otherwise,
okay, thank you so much for your contribution, Morgan. I really, really appreciate your contribution. He's even lost his signal. What would you like to say again, Modern? Okay, I can see there's a Bernard in the background. Hi, Bernard, because I try to catch people before they lose signal. Hi, Bernard, how are you? Hi, Bernard, how are you? If you can take off your... Okay, he's lost his signal. Okay, Modern, carry on whilst we wait for people to regain their signal. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still doing fine, madam.
Yeah.
Over MABUMBA's suspension, in the first place, I would like to say I'm a little confused over the criteria that the minister has used because in the first place, I was expecting to see the ACC to act, DEC to act before the minister acts. Now, MABUMBA is being suspended and Kangombe. Wawa Chiteru Chirufya and Boman Lusambo, including Jini Kapat, the lands minister, we are hearing different allegations over her. But she is not even being suspended. So I'm really disappointed, madam, with the position that the minister used to suspend Mausampa and Kangombe. Now,
Yes.
this shows that the PF government, in the first place, whoever who opposes them in the Central Committee, they are after those guys. So, whenever they are being advised to say, do this and this is the right thing that people want so that you continue ruling this country, then they are after that person. Now, it won't get us somewhere. And the party is now becoming a rotten material because of such behaviors within the committee. So, in the first place, I would love the minister who suspended Mausampa and Kangombe to lift up the suspension, because it is disappointing and it is even disturbing, madam, this time around. Let the ACC Act DEC to take place, then the president should also act over it. Now, they are giving them a chance to go and collect some materials and put them together so that they win the cases.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know, madam, where we are heading to. Because as youths who are seeing these things, we are the leader of the next generation.
And of course,
we are the leaders tomorrow.
Yeah, and of course, the message that we keep on sending on my YouTube channel, on Facebook, and all media platforms is that you need to make sure you are a registered voter. You need to make a decision to vote. If you don't have your NRC, make sure you have an NRC, because it is important that you are part of the decisions that will be made next year. Enough is enough. People are tired. People are taking our government for a joke. We need serious leadership, people who take, the position seriously. As a minister of education, you shouldn't even be found in such. I'll give you an example of the UK, for example. There's a teacher, a female teacher, who fell in love with a young man in school. That teacher was suspended with immediate effect. She will never practice teaching ever in Britain. There's another teacher, a man, who ran away with a 15-year-old girl to France. He will never practice teaching ever in his entire life. We must protect the titles. It doesn't matter whether the person is a grade 2 in position. They must protect the title. Honorable, for you to be called an honorable minister, it means even in privacy. I'm looking for an audio which I really want to play for you. Even in privacy, you live honorably. It's better, like a woman was saying on the audio, I'll play it in a few minutes. It's better you even marry 7 wives. And people know you have 7 wives. We know Iris Kaingo's dad has got how many wives? It's better. We know he's married to 2, 3, 4 wives. But for you to now go for someone's wife and, you expose your immorality, and then we expect people to say we're a Christian nation. Madam Sumaili, is it Alpha? Why do we even have Ministry of Religious Affairs? Wasted resources. Most of these departments must go, because the salary of the Ministry of Religious Affairs can feed people in Karikiriki, in my constituency. It can feed people where you are staying in your area. People are getting paid. Minister of Labor, what is her job now? The education minister has been busy womanizing, promising money to girls. That's taxpayers' money. And yet a teacher who is qualified right now is seated at home looking for how they can pay somebody 10,000 kwacha to get a job. This is a system that has been created. I was listening to a radio program yesterday. People were calling in Zambia. And they were calling in, complaining about how even looking for a job as a teacher, they are telling them, bring 10,000 kwacha. Why is there so much corruption? Because once the minister was supposed to be working, he was busy with his immorality. Now, this is whatever has been happening behind closed doors is coming on the surface now. That is the government we put in place. You can speak, my brother.
Yeah, maybe one is acting, madam. But what I'm saying that our president, your president Edgar Lungu, you know, when you have failed, you just have to admit that you have failed. In the first place, madam, Kaiser Zuru was mistreating other humans in Lusaka and other places of in this country. Kaiser Zuru was fired. It was just the very same week that we had the underground appointment that he was one of those guys who were acting in the Bank of Zambia. Now, Kaiser Zuru was not even arrested, but he humiliated others. Kaiser Zuru assaulted different people and even went to the stage of, you know, killing others on the way. But he is there now, closer to the president. So, you even see, madam, with this minister, today he is fired. But 2 to 3 days, you will hear that the president he has just appointed him on the other position because he is tolerating nonsense.
Yeah.
So, all what I can say now is that let us watch and see what will happen in the next 3 days to see if the president meant it what he had done. And besides that, let us wait and see the judgment for Chitaru Chirufya, because the president is supporting Chitaru Chirufya with whatever he is doing. This time around, we are hearing message that in hospitals we are lacking medicine.
Yes.
Last year it was on Prime TV when we had allegations that some stores, pharmacy stores, have been supplied with medicine that were not even meant for selling. Now, those dozens were sold in different stores. Now, the minister is there moving up and down. And not even a very single word that I heard from the president over Chitaru Chirufya.
Yeah.
See now a daughter to a president. Imagine facing a huge land in Eastern Province. We never heard anything from the land is, but tomorrow Sampa it is easy and Kangombe. What of Tasira Lungu?
Yeah.
So this is the government that people are going after. They are
okay, I think we've lost him on signal. We have. I think we've lost him on signal. We have Mercy all the way from Britain. My amazing contributor, Mercy. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. There's always something happening with this
government. there's always something going on. It's I was really shocked. But not shocked in a sense, because this is something that happens in a lot of countries where people engage in activities where they record themselves doing inappropriate things. And unfortunately, this happens to be someone who is in government, who is in public office, and there's a lot of people that look up to him, including the younger generation. So it's very disappointing. It's very sad. I don't know. I don't have a lot of details about him, but if he's married and he has a family and kids, those will be hurting, and they had nothing to do with his actions, but they have been hurt nonetheless. So it's really sad, and I think it goes beyond politics. We need to look at the morality as well. It's a moral issue. There's a lot of parties involved. There's someone else's wife, there's someone else's husband, and there's children. So there's people who are going to be hurt by this. I think the president was right in firing him. If I were him, I would have actually not even waited to be fired. I would have resigned on moral grounds, because you cannot carry on with your job when you've been exposed in that way. Because by being exposed that way, people lose respect for you. And when that respect is lost, there's no way that you can do your job. My only concern is how the types of comments that I've seen from across the country from different individuals, where it's become a joke. People are commenting on the size of, his parts. I don't think that's funny. It's not a laughing matter. We should not be joking about this. No. As I said, there's a family involved. This man, I'm assuming, had a wife. There's kids. So for the sake of those people who are innocent and had nothing to do with this man's actions, I think we should refrain from making jokes, as the ones I have seen around. And the reason I say that this goes beyond politics, I don't see this as something that is endorsed by PF. I don't see this as an act or action that any political party in the country would be endorsing. So I would not feel comfortable attaching this to a political party and make them appear as this is something that they are about. They are clearly not. When it comes to moral issues, you cannot know the people that you're working with 100%. You cannot know that. There's bound to be someone who is going to do something wrong, because if we're going to attach this to a party, if this were to happen in the next government that's going to come in the next election, are we going to attach those actions of an individual where an individual has become immoral? Are we going to attach them to the party? We cannot do that. So I think we need to be objective in how we assess this. However, we can still stick to the message. He was wrong in recording himself. If anything, that is the biggest trap that you can do as a person, no matter how excited those actions make you or whatever fantasies you have. It's a dangerous thing to record yourself, even if it's intended for another person, where it's just the two of you, it's private. As long as you record it, there's a risk that it will end up in the wrong hands. So he shouldn't have recorded that. That was poor judgment on his part, and he should not have done the worst thing of sending it to someone else's wife, because that person has a spouse, and when spouses are angry in matters of love, there's no predicting what they are going to do. The only thing that I can say was which makes me question, or which would appear questionable to a lot of people, is the issue of blackmail. Because I could be wrong, but in social media, I did come across some screenshots of a conversation supposedly between the person who exposed this video and the person who recorded himself. I don't know how true it is, because sometimes you can create these as a meme and a joke. So if at all those screenshots were real, I would say the intention of leaking this is very questionable, because you actually demanded a farm. You were offered £10,000, but you demanded a farm for your mom, I think a car and a house. So
10,000.
Your morals can be questioned as well. I mean, is that more important? Would you be able to overlook what has happened if you were given if your demands were met? So I question that, and I do find it disappointing. There are other ways to resolve these matters. This man is not the only one who's had a side chick. This is a common problem. I'm very aware of it in Zambia. amongst some of our men, not all of our men, but amongst some of our men. It does happen. The only difference is this happens to be on camera. That's the only difference is, and that obviously does carry more risk in that it can end up, as long as it's recorded, it can end up in the wrong hands. So I think we need to stop with the joking. Like I've seen a lot of jokes and comments on social media. Please, let's refrain from commenting on people's private parts. It does not make you appear genuine, and you certainly don't appear as a person who's rising above this issue. There's a lot of problems that we're facing in the country which we need to focus on. Let us not lose focus and concentrate on the issues we're concerned about. But yes, on this matter, I'm with the president. He was right in firing this person. If anything, this person should have actually resigned and not waited to be fired, you know, or on moral grounds. So yeah, that's all I can say. Let's be careful. Let's not engage in mob mentality. Because that is the worst thing, where you're just jumping on the bandwagon and you're not looking at issues objectively. It's very, very dangerous. Yeah. So having said that, and not forgetting the important issues, I just wanted to mention quickly where I did look on the UPND page, where I came across there was an interview with the president of UPND. I think they did sponsor a radio show with Radio Chimwemwe, and there's a guy called Isaac that was asking questions. I was actually impressed that difficult questions were being asked. The only thing that I can say that I was a little bit surprised on the comments where the interviewer was being accused of being a cadre. I think we need to learn to ask difficult questions without assigning someone to a political party. You know, these are the questions you need to be asking. These are people that are standing, wanting to be president. So you need to ask, what are they going to do? What are their plans? What are their policies? So when this person was asking these questions, there were a few comments where they were accused of doing this. But I think we need to continue with that anyway, because people will get used to it. It will become normalized, and they will understand that you can be objective, but it doesn't necessarily mean you are affiliated with another political parties. We should be able to ask the difficult questions. There's nothing wrong in asking, you know, what is your plan for civil servants? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There are civil servants who are going to vote, who want to know what is it that you're going to do for the country. So that matter was actually addressed, where there was a response that we're going to return to having a professional civil service. So you're not going, no longer going to have a situation where, you know, it's cadres in there or people that are not qualified for jobs. He went further to talk about retirement, ensuring that they are paid on time. And I'm not quite sure, I couldn't hear because the sound was bad. There was, I think, retirement age 55 or 65. I couldn't quite get that because of the poor sound quality. But there is a specific retirement age. People will be getting their money paid to them on time. And then also these people will be offered, once they have the money, they will be offered opportunities to engage in business. So this is why I keep going back, ask the how. You know, there's common saying going, Bali will fix it, Bali will fix it, but we want to know how. So I could see in some of the answers, the hows were provided. If you don't ask, you don't get. So let those who have difficult questions to ask, let them ask them. Do not necessarily, it doesn't mean that they belong to another political party when they ask difficult questions. It is not an attack on a person that wants to be president. It's merely you finding information so you can learn more. So if this question was asked, you probably wouldn't have had these answers. So then how are you going to vote? You know, how are you going to make a wise decision about the candidates that you're voting for? You know, so amongst the plans, another answer that I saw was regarding revenue. 40% of our revenue goes into servicing debts. So that is something that has been mentioned, that it's going to be restructured and it will in fact be reversed. So if, say, UPND does get into government, you need to be watching that. Have they reversed this? You know, so you need to be asking these questions. So yeah, it was good to finally, you know, see him come out and have that platform and speak. It was a telephone interview. So I would like to hear as well from other political parties, because this is not about UPND. We're objective. We're concerned about the country. So it's the country before party. So I would like to hear from MMD what their stance is on, you know, the civil service. What are they going to do on cadreism? I think on cadreism from today's interview, well, what was mentioned is that cadres will be removed from the market. They won't have those powers that they have anymore. They will be removed, but it's not. It just doesn't end on removal. There's also giving skills to those cadres, such as carpentry, you know, welding. So you're able to make your own income. So ask questions. Ask questions. You don't ask, you don't get. So I would like to hear from other parties as well, from, you know, Dr. Kambwili. I would like to hear from Dr. Nervous Mumba as well. So this is the dialogue that we need to encourage. You don't necessarily need people to go into a studio. This was a telephone interview. And make an effort, go on different pages, go on Dr. Nervous Mumba's page, you know, look at the policies, assess what is MMD planning to do for the country, go on UPND, check what is UPND planning to do for the country, go on, is it NDC, Dr. Kambwili's party?
Yeah, NDC,
Yeah, so go on NDC page, look at their policies and assess, and then compare, you know, check out the CVs of leaders of the political parties and decide for yourself who is the better candidate, you know? So if you don't ask questions, you're not going to get. And let's not attack those that are willing to ask the difficult questions. Yeah, I also wanted to comment, just one last comment on the people from the diaspora. I have seen some comments on do not speak from the diaspora, come to the ground. On that, I would comment that geographical location does not mean your citizenship has been revoked, that you magically you cease to be Zambian. You are still Zambian wherever it is that you are in the world. And for us frustrated Zambians, you know, the ones that are at home in the country and those that are outside of the country, the voices are the same. We all want change. Not everyone wants to leave the country and live somewhere else. But when it gets frustrating, naturally, you look for opportunities elsewhere. You look for places where you can thrive. So I say you need to recognize your allies. How many voices in the world are supporting you for the change to come to the country? I don't see support from China. All I see, China is looking out to benefit themselves. They're not there rushing to support you. And yet, when they oppress you as Zambians, not all Chinese, but the ones who are dodgy, the dodgy investors that we have in the country, when they oppress you, you don't stand up to speak. You're actually afraid to speak. You know, your leadership is also afraid to speak. Instead, they're asking you to apologize. So it's like the total opposite. So you need to recognize who your allies are. And then another advantage that people have on the diaspora, they don't have the security concerns that are in the country. So there's certain things that we can speak about that you can't speak freely because the cadres are going to deal with you, you know? So here is a platform as well that has been created by someone who lives in the diaspora, Lily. So you did provide this platform. So if people are going to say, oh, you know, you're in the diaspora, we don't want to hear anything that you have to say, what happens to this platform? You know? Has no good come out of this one. So recognize your allies, focus on the prize, you know, eyes on the money, eyes on the prize, focus on the issues that we have in the country, recognize your allies and work together to better the country. So that is what I have to contribute today. Thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much, Mercy, for your contribution. Patrick Wewupe says well articulated. madam, because you're reading in the line. So Mishek Nguluve on YouTube says, decision making is key in life. So whatever we do always have merits. And, I like the point that you had stated that obviously we shouldn't align this man's behavior to the political party. But for me, my comment on that would be, if there is good governance, people will behave well outside or within. For reason being that, they know that things have changed. If you see the video, it was a video call and the girl was recording the conversation. Now, we don't know whether her husband and her played the minister. We don't know. But as long as you're in that position, you're in that office, you have to behave, and you're expected to behave professional all times, regardless.
Absolutely.
So this is a warning to everybody. This is what I always tell people, that don't do things for now. Do things for your future. It's nice now you do things for your boyfriend, and Kim Kardashian can tell you, the video that she did with Ray J, he made millions out of that. And because of that video, Kim Kardashian, she's tried by all means to pay media to even remove. People have those files now. So many women have been subjected to bullying and, all those things. For a man, I mean, people will talk about it now. A few days from now, people forget. He's a man after all. But a woman, the effects are more dangerous compared to a man, because then like we've heard, the husband to this woman has even left her, or is it she's run away, she switched off her phones. There's also assumptions that maybe the both or ever have committed suicide. It's not just about the minister as well. This is for every youth. That now, if you remember, there was Matakwan Mansion that I talked about on my YouTube channel, where Zambian girls were dancing naked. I'm saying this now because I was called names by Zambian people. They told me I feel that I'm morally correct. Some people even talked about my personal life. And I was like, look, you're looking at it now to say it's good to dance and twerk on Instagram. Those screenshots, people have kept them. The screen recordings, they're on people's emails. The day you become a minister, those things will start coming out. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So it's not just for the minister to learn, but everybody. So before you go, Mercy, as well, I want to play this audio from a woman. Her points were very powerful, and then Enos can speak as well. It's about 3 minutes. Listen, everybody, please. I liked what the woman was saying, but just her language is a bit vulgar, but please listen.
Okay.
Chali chitike na kundola kuli ba MP bafiro kubata suspend na bonse abachimwene ko bebere fili nomo na fe twala twagirira ababe aba minister bachitecha musango efi bachiten suspend balufyanya sana omwana no 17 years ukunetera phone mami moneni ba minister fyo bachita ero mwala boko bati imwe buteko bwa Zambia mwadana tushikija abana bonse under age amafoni bakutira bale sambirira amafoni twashikira n'abana abanono ebo mwatampo okutambisha ebyamfalo byeno ba stupid.
Sorry about that.
Mwatampo okutambisha abana ebyamfalo pamafoni. You are very useless. Ngafafine fyamiyebe the president wenu satati ama ministers, they are useless. Church never did the president. You are very useless. Aba no weta Mr. Fiamfalo. Ni suna nshisho mwa kwatesha kukana ikata bundo. Suna to alimia mati suna nga shaku kimpya. Ule nsuna yobe upempa di 7 or 10. Pakuti hole pisha bundo nsuna. Ukuti hole tambisha bana besi Fiamfalo yobe. You are very stupid. You are very useless. No, you're with a girlfriend, you're my own chance to enter Chakwata way, never 7. mwalitumba bakoswe abana basukufiku mwabashikula bakula ekyo nalandira tuno mukubana mayo tieni tuime bashitata bafuyo okufula munganda y'amafunde mulandi wako batwale twalafuyo mungulu munganda y'amafunde nga mwabavotera nishimwe abapera nomba isune yapitirira nomba okutampa vyokukola abana kati ikikolekole twakana fye mututeni suspend immediately ni moral conduct yomwine ofulesa patita Tanzania ayilandira okuba tine nomba mpa nomba mwandina sebana kutumpoko na ukwata abakashiwobe munganda wafuma wamukukopwesa mukuba ero yofoni wemwine oitatiyese nokusebana wasebana ero waisatumina n'abana benshi bonse abalesambirira pamafoni instead balesambirira muletuma kwensele bakoswe mwemushimwe bamakaka abana no bastupid imwe ukubashikula ifyamvwalo fyemu fyabapamwelu uno mukutuchenjele nababa stupid takwabe fyamusango oyu pero takwakabe wabule fyamvwalo fyabafika pa social media bakuposta ero nilya bakuposta fyafikira mwana beso balesambirira bambi babere ngobushiku pamafoni nilyaresambirira pamafoni apokelele kyamvwalo jobe. You are very useless.
Okay, so that audio, obviously.
Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. I don't know what's happening with Lilium Thumbs.
Yeah,
I think
can
it's the
hear
network,
you,
but I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
I
you,
guess I
but
should
I think
first introduce
she's
myself.
lost connection. I think she'll be back in a little while.
All right, I guess we'll have to wait for Lilium Thumbs to come back.
Yeah, you can carry on, I think, if you want to speak while we wait.
You can make your contribution.
Someone else can go on and make their contribution here as well, waiting for Lilium Thumbs. Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to say that from the recording, I think the lady is right. I do understand her anger, but she did mention about the person who recorded it posting it on social media. I'm not quite sure he's the one that posted it. I thought it was the lady's husband that leaked the video. I'm not quite sure how it got onto social media, but I don't think it was the minister that posted it himself. It wouldn't have been in his interest to expose something so personal, in the public domain. So this is the same thing that I was saying, that, to what end? Why would you post something like that? As angry as you may be with the video, and with the failing morals of the minister, it doesn't serve you in any way to post something like that. What you've done instead, you've made it possible for other people to be hurt by this who had nothing to do with the actions of this man. Then also, potentially you've exposed young people who are on social media, who are even underage. You know, you've exposed them to something so graphic and immoral. So that is all I have to say on that. I think it's disappointing. And I think us as the public as well, we haven't helped the situation because people have found it as something that they can joke and which they can laugh about. It's not like we're the most moral country in the world or in Africa. You just have to look at the number of friends that you have and people that you know who have told you a story about their spouse cheating on them. So in terms of morals, I don't think we're on that level. But yes, it's disappointing that it was recorded. We're angry about it, but I didn't think sharing it with the public was the right thing to do. Yeah, I think the president was right to fire the minister, no matter how good he may be with his job. The fact that that video has been exposed, people lose respect for you when they see things like that. So there's no way, no matter how good you are with your job, there's no way that you can carry on and people will continue to respect you. It just can't happen. So I think he was right to be fired. So that is all from me on that one.
All right. Okay. First of all, I remember when you talked about people saying people in the diaspora are not allowed to say anything. You don't have the right to talk about Zambia. Yeah. In Zambia, personally, from my experience, I think like for us who live here, we don't have that freedom to talk about anything. And I think we should we should take advantage of people who are outside to be our voice. Like Lilium Tams, she was our voice for some time. But yeah, she's still our voice. She's brave enough to do it. In Zambia, for the people who are saying, hey, people in the diaspora, don't say things you don't know about, all that, those same people can't stand up for themselves. So why should they be bothered about people who are standing up for them? Like, if you can't say it, let the person who can say it for you. And moving on from that, I don't know about this firing of the minister because the man has been here for a long time and he just can't be fired just like that. I think there's something behind this, something we obviously don't know. And I feel like everything PF does is questionable because I don't think the man can be fired just like that. I think there's something behind it. And him being fired doesn't mean he won't find another job. He might be a minister of something else. From what I'm, like my perspective, what I think he might have some other position given to him. And yeah, this thing seems like it was something to shut us up, just something to make us forget about all this controversy going on. That's what I think. I don't know. Can you say something about it? Like, don't you think don't you think it's scripted? Don't you think it's the agenda to make it look like he got fired while he'll find something else to do?
I mean, it's very difficult to tell at the moment, because to even suggest that the firing was based on a script is, in a sense, assuming that the party endorsed that kind of behavior. I think we can all agree, regardless of which party you belong to, that was immoral and it was wrong, and it has led to the firing. But where people have doubts, I can understand that to a certain extent because of the track record of the party. They don't seem to be firing when it's blatant and it's clear and it's necessary. They haven't fired people in the past. And not just in the past, there's certain people we're dealing with right now who you don't necessarily have to fire. You can at least consider suspending them until their names are cleared, such as Dr. Chitalu Chilufya. But you haven't done that. So it's not surprising to me if people have questions in their mind. Was this firing genuine, or is it as a result of pressure? If there wasn't any pressure, would the president have fired this person at all? Even if the firing is genuine, but because of the past behavior from the party, people are going to have doubts. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say he was going to be fired anyway, because just the level.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. I see some comments coming back.
Thank you so much, Mercy and Enos, for keeping the chat going.
Thank you.
My battery died because I'm tapping for my phone, so my battery died, unfortunately. But thank you so much. Let's just give a chance to Joanne and MABUMBA, and then we can carry on. For those of you who would like to join the stream, we have the link. Mercy, so many positive comments. In fact, people are saying you need to come to Zambia and join the Honorable. You better come.
I'll make arrangements with work. It's difficult to get away during the COVID situation, because when you're dealing with finances, you can't just up and go, you know, in difficult times. But I'll look into it, because I would like to use my right to vote. So perhaps I may, if it's possible, I may make a trip for the registration.
October,
so fingers crossed, God willing, that is my prayer. Okay. In the meantime, we continue to speak. Thank you.
Yes, we continue to speak, and Zenith Malawa on YouTube has just said, you know, Zambians on the ground and those of us in the diaspora, we still need Zambians. And one thing that Zambians in Zambia should know is that, you know, part of the reason why we're having this live stream is because of Zambians in the diaspora. We've had a Zambian in the diaspora paying for this live stream. We've had Zambians in the diaspora sending me financial support for what I'm doing, because people expect me to announce that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. For the groundwork I'm doing, they're just like, you know, take this, take that. And we're making sure things are done correctly, you know, the proper way. So we need Zambians in the diaspora, you know. They are very, very supportive. So don't neglect them or say anything negative about them. Thank you so much, Joanne. How are you, my brother? Good to see you on this live stream.
Thank you. Good to see you, Lily. How are you?
Yes, good.
How are you, Messi? Hello?
Messi.
Are you able to...
Oh, hello. Yes. How are you? I'm so sorry. I was on mute. I was saying I'm well. I'm well, but I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. My contribution is as follows. When you are in the public domain, you become a center of attention from everyone. The following happens. I always say it's a three-sided coin, though from this three-sided coin I only mention two, which are more critical. When you are in the public domain, expect the following. People will always follow your actions and whatever you say. That is one thing that needs to be understood. As a result, because you are a center of attention, you attract the following people. Hackers are always attracted. People may siphon your information and post it in the public domain. These are things that you've seen before, because people want to embarrass you. Secondly, your relations matters a lot. It is your relation that may act as your downfall. How will they do that? It is mostly by virtue of leaking sensitive information into the public domain to embarrass you. And these are things that people that are in the public domain should understand. Ministers, presidents, councillors, permanent, everyone need to understand this is cardinal. I was joking with somebody to say, from my observation, you find when most important sensitive information leaks in the public domain, you find that it's either a person who's got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, that person is frustrated and they want to find a way of leaving them. As a result, they are going to use sensitive information which is not supposed to be in public media or fora to expose, to publish it, to embarrass them. These are things that people should be able to understand, those that are in the public domain. As a result, good behavior is cardinal. In a home, when you have a home, the behavior of the children is dependent on the guidelines that a parent puts across. When one child misbehaves, if you discipline them, you set as a precedence to the other so that they're able to follow the right path. If one person misbehaves in a home and you don't discipline that person, you set up a very bad precedence indicating that even the others can do a similar situation. We have seen what has been happening at the moment where certain people from the bigger family that we have, which is the government, misbehaves and they are scot-free. They are let go. Their actions are buried. There are other people that will act in certain way and are punished. When such happens, you realize that people become tolerant with their behavior. Lack of integrity is moved away in people's lives. Hence, the situation that we are seeing at the moment, parents, being found in situations that are, that are not worthy to be found, compromised situations, lack of morals. We are seeing this from our parents. The question that I keep asking, why is it that only from the big family that we have, that's where we are seeing a lot of immoral actions? One of the leader is found dead because he was found in a compromised situation. This other one, sensitive information is published. It's posted on the public domain. This other minister, you hear, there are these, actions that are immoral. You see that. So if we have, I'll still, I'll be blunt, to be honest with you. A parent, he's a key to determine the behavior of their children, of the family members. Can we have the government, the opposition, whoever will come into power, let them set up guidelines where every child will know, if I act in this manner, the repercussions are as follows. I'll give you an example. The time when we had Mwanawasa, he put up guidelines to guide every family member who were the ministers, and people behaved in accordance because they were scared that the discipline will follow them. The law will take its course. These are some of the things that people need to understand. The other point is, people in public domain, please understand that when you are in public domain, you are the center of attraction to everyone in a nation and around the world. Hackers become your targeted point. People can hack your information because we are in the technology world at the moment. We are using smartphones, which can easily be tracked. We are using gadgets that are sophisticated. So be so conscious with whatever you are doing. Remember, even a gadget can be switched on by anyone and capture you, get your most sensitive information and post it in the public domain.
Just hold on there, Brother Joy, before I forget. A few days ago, we came across videos and images of a young, beautiful woman from Malawi that goes to Dubai for what is known as prostitution, but it's not prostitution. They go and eat feces. Now, I've talked about this before on my stream, and I said, look, the desperation of people these days to show off on social media is what is making them go for ministers. Some go to Dubai, and everybody is taking information to social media to disgrace people. So as somebody who's a public figure that always reads about these things, I think you should be more careful in your life today more than ever, because you don't know tomorrow. You know, we've seen a minister from, is it Malawi or Botswana, that was chatting with a young man. And the young man was asking for, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And he was recording her throughout and asked the lady, if you don't give me such and such money, I will expose you. You know, so as key people in high positions, you are vulnerable. And don't even look at yourself today that you're not popular. You don't know tomorrow. I always say this, you don't know tomorrow. You know, where even your job opportunity, your own friends can sell you. So this is a learning curve for everyone. Everyone. It's nice to record yourself, but the repercussions are deep. So the video of the lady eating feces has gone viral. And she slays on Range Rovers, you know, and we've seen people who are inspired by such people. And also for a fact that you've seen a married woman going for, in the whole story, obviously there's lots of moral topics that we can talk about. This is a married woman who has a husband. What was she doing with a married minister? Wasn't she satisfied by the husband's efforts to keep food on the table? You know, whatever food he was providing? No. The pressure, which is why I keep on saying we need more women empowerment programs, because it's the women who are subjected to prostitution. I've worked with refugees and asylum seekers in Britain, and I'm telling you, if you hear how women run away from West Africa, they call it stowaway. They go to Libya. In Libya, they are beaten up, they are whipped, they find themselves on the boat. It's survival of the fittest. Some die just to get to Italy. When they get to Italy, they cross to Germany. Some cross to France. And by all means, they try and push themselves and find themselves in the UK. But for those that land in Italy, there's a lady, if you like people that talk about, you know, women empowerment and other stories, there's a lady called Mama Gladys from Nigeria that physically picks prostitutes from Nigeria and changes their lives around, helps them by fundraising money, because majority of those women are there because of a big mama that said, you're coming to Italy to work, and they will take their passport and everything. For us to reach this stage, as Africans, it's just not Zambia. It's because of the resources that our governments have always had, but they use it to enrich themselves. Now, the minister is offering 50,000 kwacha. Which money? From his pocket or taxpayers' money? So you and me should be upset that the minister is misusing and abusing his position to lure married girls in order to, you know, satisfy his sexual desires. And I'll say this, and I'll say this again. If we don't correct these mistakes now, next year, more issues, and even more, because the internet is changing. Girls want iPhone 11, they want all those things. So the moral of the story is we need more youth empowerment programs, because once the youth are empowered, they won't have time to be looking for a minister to provide them with iPhones and, you know, all these gadgets, but they would rather be looking at how they can better their lives. And this is my plea to any government that will win the elections next year. The youth need to be empowered. They need to be off the streets. Carry on, sir.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it and appreciate for the wise words, Lily. The other area of concern is, like you indicated, this is a plea to the government and the governments to come. The vulnerable people are the youth, young girls. We have seen this happen in institutions where people in high positions, people that are doing very fine, are taking advantage of the youths, taking them for a penny and use them for a pen. If the youths were fully empowered, whereby people have got better jobs, meaningful jobs, people are able to, to do business, meaningful businesses, you'll find that a young girl, a male child who have will have the strength to say no to any immoral activity. To be honest with you, it is not only a girl child who's vulnerable. There are a lot of young boys at the moment in Zambia that are being used for immoral activities, such as homosexuality. There are a lot of young boys who are being taken advantage by rich women here in Zambia, here in Lusaka. You see that? We have seen situations where some of the young men have even realized the importance of getting these women to themselves. What have they resorted into? Most of them, most of the guys are the ones that you are finding even lifting weights so that they've got bigger bodies to attract men, women. You see that? Big women. Why? Because they need resources. But if these people are empowered, if these people are able to work, they've got meaningful jobs, it will be very difficult for anyone to take advantage of them. Life has got it's a two-sided coin, which has got a positive and the negative side. Whatever action the leaders are putting across, it will produce two activity, either the negative energy or the positive energy. It will build a nation or destroy a nation. Look at the effect just one minister has created in Zambia. At the moment, everyone is tense because of what we've seen. What energy has he infused into the nation? It's negative energy. No one is happy about it. But these are some of the things that leaders should be able to realize, and these are it's a call to all leaders. The government, it's a bigger call, which it's a bigger call that they need to do better. Let them create employment industry. Zambia is a parasite country, to be honest with you. We depend on, we are on the receiving side. We are not on the producing side. Why should we be always on the producing side? Can the government create industries where we should be also on the giving side and the producing side than the receiving side? We need better. We need better. Lastly, foreigners have taken advantage of this situation. We have seen videos. We have seen videos where Indians, we saw Indians, owing this man for the sake of a penny to do homosexuality. You see that immoral activities. We saw a video where an Indian man had to entice this, street child, a girl child, for the sake of a ShopRite, a snack, and he had to take advantage of that child. And what happens? From the little that I know, that child, that guy was let free, because if that guy was punished for his action, we would have had the end of it. And the people that are scot-free are people with money. The people that are suffering are poor people. That's why we need Zambian people to be empowered to the fullest. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to read this comment by Christian Musenga. Obviously, we are not, gender discriminating anybody, but we know that women are more vulnerable, obviously. And when I say the youth, people should also understand that I mean both women and men, young men and women. Christian says women's participation in politics helps advance gender equality and affects both the range of policy issues that get considered and the types of solutions that are proposed. Research indicates that whether a legislator is male or female, hold on, I'm just reading something. Whether a legislator is male or female has a distinct impact on policy and priorities. I just thought I should read that. Yes, how are you, my brother? Makumba, would you like to say something, please? Hi, Makumba. Makumba. I think let me just unmute the. Makumba, how are you? You need to unmute your sound, Makumba. Can we have Makumba? Are you there? Okay, can we have Irene Walia, then Kwachangwe, then Chilufya Walia?
Okay.
Yes,
Hi.
Irene Walia, please. How are you?
Hi.
How are you, my sister?
Hi.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Lovely for you to have me. Hi to the panel. Firstly, I'll talk. I'm going to talk about three things. I'll talk about the minister, then talk about the woman who in question, and then about the audio that you played for us. Firstly,
Yes.
the minister, to start with, is obviously a father, a husband, and to make even things in general, a father to the whole children who go to school. So how is it going to sit with the parents sending children to school, knowing very well the head of the whole schools in Zambia is doing things to expose himself? Are we going to have trust in the people we are entrusting in looking after our children? Because obviously the minister knew very well is in public domain, and he has to set every little thing that he has by example to the children that is manning throughout the country. So for him to even whatever went on, only him and the woman in question know better. But as everybody has been saying, social media can build you, social media can destroy you. So people should understand to say, recording yourself, unless probably you are in your home with your very own wife, but even with your wife nowadays, their marriages do break up. Just do away with these things, because you never know. You might think, yeah, for sure, I'm not, after all, I'm not famous, so no one is going to notice even if this went viral. But you never know what has been prepared for you for the future. The past can come to haunt you for the things that we're doing. That's why we have to be careful at this point in time. Secondly, I'll talk about the woman in question. What kind of a woman with respect? From what I can gather, this person is a married person. Even if this person wasn't married, what's wrong with us women? Why can't we work hard and earn what we deserve to have? If you want something, get out there, go and work. Don't start distorting people for expensive things. People nowadays, more especially women, I can say this, want very expensive things that they can't afford. Why can't we work within our means? If you think you need something, really you want something, if you want something, go and work for it. Don't go on, because God has given us brains, God has given us hands, God has given us feet. But these brains are not given to us by God to be distorting other people or blackmailing other people for money. Why are we women disrespecting ourselves like this? Because I'm talking as a woman, because I'm actually embarrassed even to hear a person who is, whether for sure, I'm not sure this person is a married person, would even go to the extent. Because if I'm in a relationship, if somebody sends me a message that I don't think sits well with me, I'll point blank tell this person to say, this I don't go with, this I don't agree with. But for herself, even to go to the extent of even sharing videos with a person who is not the husband, or who is not the boyfriend, or who is not her partner, that shows the caliber of a person this person is. Because as a woman, even just, you could even think about it. I know we've used social media. Most of us, we've been sent things that are inappropriate. But all you can do as a person who's got 5 senses, as a person who respects yourself, as a person who's got senses that you want to protect other people who are using social media, you just delete and block the person. But for this woman to have gone forward and receive all these disturbing images, and let alone to go and post them, whoever posted, whether it was the husband, because they are both in the wrong. Because not only one person was, or are they only embarrassing the person in question? There's a family involved, there are children involved, let alone the whole world watching the private parts of a person. This is just all wrong. Where are the morals of people? Where are we heading to? Is social media coming to this now? Because social media is supposed to be used for tangible things to develop others. So I'm really, really ashamed as a woman, even for this, the person in question to have gone even to the extent of even allowing the man. Because if I was a person in that position, I would just literally tell the person in question to say, no, I don't agree with this. But because us women nowadays, we want fast money, we want fast good things, we want expensive things that you're not working for. Go out there. There are so many things that people can do. Go and work for the things you need. Don't go and start distorting other people and destroying marriages because you want expensive things. When God has given you the brains, when God has given you hands and feet to hustle and earn your own money. It's like it's now becoming a circus where every woman has to stand up there and wants to show expensive things that they haven't worked for. I would be very, very ashamed to even go on social media and show things that I haven't worked for. You should be proud of yourself to show things that you've worked for, and you can even be proud of yourself. So that's one thing about this woman in question. Lastly, I'll talk about the audio that you shared, Lily. The audio that the lady that talked about in that audio, I totally agree with what she was saying, because the social media isn't only used by elderly people or used by children. Nowadays are always on social media. And to make matters worse with the pandemic, the children are using internet studying, and they go to study in their rooms, and then all they find is that. It's so disturbing. I don't know what we are going to do to make sure our children don't get exposed to such kind of images. I'm not sure, because it's so disturbing. It's actually really frustrating to know. When I look around, I know my own young ones have obviously seen this, and you just think, what are they thinking?
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring everyone back to a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, in as much as we can talk about providing, jobs, empowering the youth, and being a representative as a minister and whatnot, being a representative of the public, you know, and the people, what you have to understand is that all that expectation and everything that we want to see is coming from somewhere, you know what I mean? And that's what we call charity, you know. We have to look at the roots at the end of the day. That's where the whole basis is supposed to be the main focus in everything, you know. In as much as we are looking at the top, we need to get back to the roots, you know. It's about how you're gonna groom the children, because in as much as you empower the youths, they can have bad morals at the end of the day. So if the charity is not there, the morals are not there, we still expect to see more of such situations, you know, because it's really embarrassing. You understand? It's very embarrassing, you know. So I feel like we need to go back to a point of charity and getting back to the roots, you know, all the way.
Okay.
And then the secondly, what I want to say.
Hold on. When I was against Matako Mansion, I remember Dr. Shimba Kambuli's daughter. I did a video about it on my YouTube channel before most of you people didn't know me. And she was like, at the end of the day, this is our entertainment. We are bored during this quarantine. And I'm thinking, you are training to be a lawyer. You know, tomorrow, such things will come up. I mean, which British law firm will accept you when they see that you are on a live stream somewhere encouraging Matako Mansion? I was the most insulted woman that day. I looked like I was trying to coach people's children. They said, you are not our mother. So parents, again, it's nice to buy your children gadgets. It's entertaining. But do you know what they are watching on those gadgets?
Exactly.
Carry on.
Yeah, so secondly, you know, it's only in the human eyes where we are able to differentiate how severe a wrong is, you know. Quite right, on moral grounds, it's okay, you know, for such a person to be fired at the end of the day. But what good does it make somebody that decides to see a very big wrong in one side, but then the other side is still left unattended to, you know? We have so many ministers that are still in their office, and there's so much wrong that they've brought about at the end of the day. And you know, if you look at this situation, you say, okay, yeah, it's a good thing to fire this minister. But at the end of the day, what good does it bring to the president by showing the other guys that have done wrong at the end of the day? It's like you are literally supporting it, you know.
Yeah.
In as much as you are trying to control each and every situation, you know, I feel like there's just the whole system has just been manipulated to a point whereby people just wake up and do whatever they want, you know. People just wake up and do whatever they want, and at the point where they decide something, that's what's right. Even if you stand up to say something, you're not heard, you know. Justice is not there, you know what I mean? You know, we are not communicating. There's no level ground, you know. We need to sit back, go back to the drawing board, set what's right, have a direction, have a vision, you know. Because for me, I feel like Zambia is the type of place whereby it's like a house, you know. Each time somebody builds a house, they reach the roofing level, and next person comes in, demolishes, they start over and over again. That's the reason why we don't see development in the country, because we are always trying to rebuild, you know. You know, just try to fix things, and you know what I mean. Yeah, thank you.
Like Jay Chisenga has commented on my YouTube channel, says, and the same minister was busy supporting Bill 10, that there are clauses that support Christian morals. Is it really true his Bill 10 support was genuine? Is Zambia truly a Christian nation? Can we have Mr. Kwachangwe comment before we come back to Irene Walia? Mr. Kwachangwe, how are you, sir?
I'm
and
very
by
well,
the way,
thank you.
by the way, everyone,
stop, just stop there. Don't say anything. That's yeah.
No, I have to say it. He's a sponsor of this live stream. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you're doing a good job, Lily, because you, as Messi said, you know, there are some people are saying, those who are in the diaspora, what are you doing for us? Why can't you come here? You know, it's a matter of time. You know, everything has got time. There's time for everything. Yes. Yeah, there are some people in Zambia, some others, or some of us are here like yourself. You are here, and now you've gone back to Zambia. They say home is home. There's no place like home. So even if we are in the diaspora, our hearts are still back home. We love our Nshima, we love our Kapenta, everything. So Zambia is still our country, even if we are in this place. But coming to the issue at hand about the minister, you know, every one of us, even listen to the tape, you know, that woman was really going for it, you know, because it's embarrassing for the nation, you know, and all credit goes to the president by firing this minister, because it's in the national. It's why has he fired him? Because it's in the national interest. Because anyone who goes for public office, there is a code of conduct that is expected of them. Even if we are all human beings, we are weak, we all mess up, but we need to know that when we are holding public office, there is some standards required of us because of where we are and what we stand for. So it's good that the president fired him, because it's in the national interest, because it doesn't give a good message, especially for young people who are growing up. These things in the social media. But I can say that, you know, that's the tip of the iceberg in Zambia. Like Messi was saying, you know, it's just unfortunate that these, videos were leaked. But I know that there are so many things that happen behind the doors, which are also in the national interest, but have never been dealt with publicly. The reason why this thing has come out is because this woman exposed it publicly. But if there was no exposure, we wouldn't even have known. And the minister would not have been fired at all. You see, they wouldn't have been fired if these things were in the background. It wasn't. No, this minister would have been still be a minister today. But the reason why is because it's in the public eye. The minister has been fired because it's in the public interest of every Zambian that we need to uphold the moral conduct of the nation. In the same breath, I would say that, you know, this cuts across all fibers of ministerial governmental institutions. When we are talking about issues of corruption, we are talking about injustice, we are talking about lack of people being paid for the salaries. That is also a moral standard that the government should be looking at, you know. So it's not just because of this man has been exposed and it's come in the open. What about those things that are happening behind the doors that are not in the public eye? So it goes to show that, you know, when something happens which is in the public interest, people really support it, you know. That's what I'm thinking, that, you know, it's really important that, you know, as we are, and I think what I can say is also, it's also good for the Zambian. As I know, for us who are in the diaspora, this thing we see it all the time. People get exposed. You know, there are women everywhere in the world here. It's not like Zambia is an utopia country where women or men will not go and try to blackmail other people for the sake of getting money. This is the world we live in. The world is evil. But living in the world that is evil, we need to have boundaries as well, especially if you are aspiring for public office. You know, You need to know that there's a price. There's a price to pay. If you are aspiring for public, you'll be criticized. You'll be under the public eye. People will be seeing what you're doing. So it's really, really important that those who are going for public office, they know what they expect to get. But also, I would say that for the young Zambians and young and old, we should also begin to realize that we are living in a different era of time where things are very much in the open. And I think, especially in Zambia, where so many young people have got mobile phones, it's good for them to know that, whatever they are doing, they should be conscious that some of these things will haunt them in the future and it can destroy their career as well in the future. So they have to be wise. And I think it goes that, this is a time when maybe in a curriculum, in education, they should begin to teach about the dangers of social media in the education system. Because as much as we are looking at the minister, there could be also young girls who are being groomed through social media, through sex slaves, we just don't know. So I think this brings to the fore the importance of educating people in the context in which we are living as Zambians as well as the world. So in a nutshell, I would say that, it's good that it's been fired. It's in the national interest that we need to uphold moral conduct for those who are in public office. But as for me, I feel that this cuts across every aspect of the Zambian life, whether it is to do with corruption, anywhere where we smell corruption, those things have to be exposed, and the president should come out and speak against that because it's in the national interest. When it comes to the mistreatment of the Zambians who are mistreated by the Chinese, it's in the national interest. The president should come out and speak out about that. When it comes to issues of any area that has to do with national interest, it's incumbent upon those who hold public interest to inform the Zambians so that they are aware of what is going on. And I think that's why we're asking for those political parties who are coming into aspiring for governance next year to open up and be more transparent about telling us what they're going to do for the nation and how they're going to do it, how they're going to implement some of their manifestos. So Zambians are informed so they'll be held accountable for what they will be bringing. If they don't deliver, then we can say, why have you not delivered? Because you promised this. So there will be accountability for that. So this idea of being silent and not being able to speak out, I think is not in the national interest. And I think this gives us an example. Just as the government has done it, is we praise them for doing this. It's a decay. It goes to show the decay of our system, actually. That's why I've been saying, where is Zambia as a Christian nation here? So, but it's sad. It is really sad because I really feel for the family, the children, of this man, it's such an embarrassment, actually. I know we can't be throwing stones at him, but it's just an embarrassment, But it just goes to show that, if you are in public office, there is boundaries. You have to pay a price. There's a price always to pay, and you have to be very careful. Not only the minister, but every young people, whether girls or boys, you need to be very, very careful because many people have been killed through social media, being blackmailed, and they've committed suicide, as we've said. We see it here all the time. So, what can we say? God bless Zambia, and one Zambia, one nation. That's what we are looking for. We look forward to a party that will come into power, whether it's MMD or UPND or whatever, that will adhere to upholding the Zambian values. Zambia is a country of values, and if you don't hold on to the values of one Zambia, one nation, that is not good for the Zambians. So that's what I can contribute this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kwachangwe. Nyota Mutobo, who's an amazing subscriber, says, Kwachangwe, thanks for your input. Morality is important in governance. Whilst Billy Kamanga says the president has defended some of his, people that still in government, but he also says that he doesn't really deserve credit. So we shouldn't really celebrate him because I think it's a little bit too late for him to be, celebrated from everyone's sentiments. Well, most people, they feel if he can act on this, which means he's never been, his ears have never been deaf. he's just pretended like he can't hear what's going on ground. During the gassing situation, people suffered and he closed his ears. So some people feel that he doesn't really deserve to be praised. So we can put a balance there. Thank you so much, sir. We have Vincent, who's been waiting in the background. Vincent, how are you? And then we'll have Alex after, because I know Alex has been losing signal. Hi, Vincent, how are you? Hi, Vincent.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, yes. Welcome to this live stream.
All right, thank you. Actually, I'm joining from Manchester.
Oh, really? Wow, that's good.
Yeah, you know, Zambia, you know, a lot of things are happening in Zambia, and whatever is happening is very disheartening. We are not happy with what is happening in Zambia. The political atmosphere is very scary and disheartening at the same time. You know, the people of Zambia needs to be sensitized when it comes to elections. These leaders that we elect into power, they need to tell people where they are taking them. We need to question them. Where are you taking us? What is your destination? What are you going to do for us? When they talk of good governance, they need to explain. Our people needs proper education to put these people to accountability. Zambia today is a country where lawlessness is almost everywhere. We are a laughing stock. Where political cadres have so much power than a police officer. Can you imagine? I came across a video of a police officer who resigned. You know, it took time for me to understand why he had to resign. He said he resigned because of corruption, the injustice, cadres taking over the police service in Zambia. Honestly speaking. So to me, I salute that police officer. He's a true leader. So we need such people in government, not cadres in government. People who can add the value to the indigenous people of Zambia. When you talk of leadership again, there are people in Zambia that are suffering because of poor leadership. A foreigner in Zambia is respected than an indigenous Zambian. Why is it so? We need a government that is going to provide a platform to respect our fellow Zambians, our indigenous Zambians, a platform that will provide businesses, a platform that will allow our people to operate freely. I'm not against the foreigners, but a Zambian person or a Zambian citizen has to be a priority in the national issues. So it's high time we start questioning these politicians about governance. Whosoever aspire for political office, they need to tell us what they are going to do for our people. Our people are languishing in adequate poverty. Adequate poverty. People in Shangombo, people in Wapula, Western Province. In all the corners of Zambia, our people are suffering. Why? What have we done? Why do we have to be tortured over the people that we elected into office? It's high time we open our eyes, Zambians. Whosoever aspire for political office, we need to question them. They need to give us answers. There's no need to get 50 kwatas meal. You know, we need to question them. They need to tell us what they're going to do. Zambia is a very good country. Our people are very beautiful. They are very welcoming. But we have been taken for granted by politicians because we don't understand the general overview of our politics in our country. Our people needs to be educated. The time is over of politics of, you know, food stuffs, giving out money. You know, that time is gone. We need people that can stand and deliver the people of Zambia. Leaders that can put our people first. Zimbabwe, Malawi, Botswana, we need two leaders in Africa that can stand and protect the African people. That is my contribution. You know, it's very disheartening. Otherwise, I'm not happy at all with what is happening in Zambia. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vincent. That's somebody in the diaspora. It's not easy when we see videos, we hear news from Zambia or wherever you are. Thank you so much. Can we please have Alex Muwoyayi, please? Alex, how are you? And then we'll have Felix and Noah next. How are you? Alex, your volume is low. Can you please put it louder? Can you put your volume louder, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you please put your volume louder, please? Are you able to speak up? Okay, whilst we're waiting for him to sort out his sound, can we please have Felix Chola? Felix, I've missed you. It's been a while. And Noah Mwenda. Hi, Felix. Oh, let's have Noah. Hi, Noah. How are you? Oh, Felix, you're back.
I'm
Hi,
good. How are you
Felix.
doing? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's have you, Noah, since you're speaking. Noah, can we have you on board, please?
Okay, how are you doing? Yeah.
Fine, thank you.
I feel okay. Good. Are you able to get me now?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to
Yeah,
get me?
carry on. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. It's kind of unfortunate that our leaders can really take us for granted, and for them to. First of all, I'm so sad of what is really happening, especially in the people who are in the forefront of probably giving us development in our country. And for our leaders to go that far, I feel they're really taking us for granted. I feel Zambia really needs a lot to be done. And just like the previous speaker said, we really need to check our leaders, especially those that we feel can be put in the government. We really need to check on them to say what exactly are they going to do for us, especially as Zambians. I feel what's happening right now, it's quite unfortunate, and it's not pleasing for us, especially Zambians, especially seeing our parents doing such things. I feel it's so bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, that's my little what I had for now.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. That was nice and swift. Can we have Felix, and then we'll go to Chishimba John. Chishimba has been trying for a long time. Then David Mayor, yeah. So let's start with Felix. Felix, how are you? How are you, Felix? I think Felix can't hear me.
Oh, yes. I am very fine.
How are you?
Hello, how are you, Lady?
What's your contribution?
I'm very good, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, carry on, Felix. Felix, carry on. Maybe you can't hear me. Okay, Chris, Chishimba John, do you mind speaking? Let's see if we can hear you. Chishimba John. Chishimba John.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir? Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Come on, you can speak. Go on. How are you?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Me, I'm very fine. How are you that side? I'm able to get you loud and clearly. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly.
Hello?
Very clearly. Yeah, we can hear you. Just speak, please, sir.
Okay. Okay. Otherwise, I have very few contributions to make. I think my starting point is about the issue of the diaspora. I feel like we need great brains to govern this country. We have a huge challenge where we have a lot of people who feel like politics must be given to a certain category of people, especially low caliber, like these people like Bowman, that type of people. That's the level where we need to give politics to. And then we get this other part of people to say, no, politics not mine. But I feel politics is leadership. And if it's leadership, then we need quality people to be in front so that they can lead the country where it deserves to be. Okay?
Yes.
So the people in their diaspora and others within, those who feel they have what it takes, I think they're the ones who must lead the country, and not politics to be left to low caliber people, so to say. I think that's my first part. The second part is about this same man called Mr. MABUMBA. He is the leader, and especially when we are in schools, the Minister of Education is the one we look up to. So if he can be the one to come up with such videos, I think to be fired, that would be the best thing for him. Yeah. Then I wanted also to talk about you really concerning your participation in politics.
Yes.
I thought it would have been best for you to go and contest the rural constituents. You were talking about something to do with soccer. In rural areas, it is much easier for you to get your seat. The people are easily convinced about you if you can just manage to go and stand. Not in towns like Lusaka. In Lusaka, they just go for the party. The party, if it's PF, that's all. And to convince, I don't know whether how many people, it will be a mountain to climb for you. Regardless of the party, it's very difficult. Look at the way they vote. If it's Lusaka, if they are PF, they all go for PF. If it's a party for UPND, they will go for that. Look at the independents we have, for example, in the House. Almost all of them, they come from the rural areas. For the simple reason, in the rural areas, you can manage to convince them. You can go there, even myself, I can go there, convince the people. You can gather them in one village, talk to them, and they'll be very happy to meet you. And they'll be ready to vote for you. Even if you are an independent or you are standing on one party, they will still vote for you. But in towns, it's just the party. If that party doesn't adopt you, then that's the end. That's the other part I wanted to talk about.
Can I just
thank you so much
about
thanks so much,
Lily? I think right now, I don't think the place where you aspire to stand matters at this point in time, because people can see now. The people are opening their eyes. It doesn't matter whether it is in the village, it is in town. It's the amount of information that you take to the people. And if you engage with the people and tell them the things that you intend to do, I think people will actually really vote for you. Because even in Lusaka, we've seen the shift and what people are thinking about the current government at this point in time. They've seen the hardship that they've gone through. So it isn't necessarily, well, it's in one way, it's easy to convince the people in the rural areas, but at this point in time, people are opening their eyes. It doesn't matter. It's what you do for them that matters at this point in time.
Okay, I'll also add on that. There's people who've been in politics for many years. that have they were even members of parliament, and they are retired now. And in consulting those, the first question, sorry, if somebody's trying to call me, it disturbs the signal. And the first question I was asked was, where were you raised? I said, no, I've lived in Lusaka all my life. And this very, very prominent figure said, you're from Lusaka, stand in Lusaka. And I was like, no, but people are saying I have to go in the village. I was like, look, you have to convince people with that language, because I'm Namwanga. You have to convince people with the language. And, the villagers also, they're also difficult people. That's another thing you should also understand, that there may be 5 of us going there, whether even if I'm standing, say, independent or on the UPND ticket, they will collect whatever resources. They don't care, they don't mind. They'll collect from here, collect here, from there. And at the end of the day, maybe the person who speaks the language very well stands a higher chance than me that just speaks Bemba and Nyanja and English. So I was advised by very prominent people to stand in Lusaka. And there's no harm in trying, but I believe the best will come, because of there's so many things I cannot say on public media, but I am working underground very well. And obviously next year you will know, you will start hearing things that we've done. But for the sake of what's going on, if people try to do this, they're being stopped. So everything is there, it's happening, but it's kept confidential. So
especially the opposition.
Yes.
When you want to gather, they tell you no, there is corona, but with them they can gather.
Yes, and then there's I'll give you an example. Like a few days ago, some few members from our constituency, they were just 4 of them, they were meeting and police were there. 4, not even 10, 4. They were interrogated by the police. They were taken to the police station. So, in where people are saying, oh, you should be on ground, they have no idea. But soon you will know that, okay, this is what happened later next year, because we don't want them to start saying, oh, you did this, did you ask for permission? Yeah, so we just, we are working hard. And by God's grace, things will be. Next year, believe it or not, next year is for the youth. The youth of Zambia will be really good. Yes,
that's again another part where that's where again where I'm feeling happy, because what I saw in 2016, I somehow lost hope. I thought people were not seeing what I was able to see. But it's like everyone now is able to see the truth, to say they made a very big mistake in 2016, especially on the ballot. So I'm able to see as well that things will change very much in 2021. But continue doing your best on the ground. We are going to see something better.
Yes,
we need great brains like yourselves to be in front of us. Yes.
We thank God. Yes, so we're pushing, and definitely by God's grace, there's a lot that is happening, and we'll share the testimonies next year when we are somewhere far and we know we're in new government, and we'll say, this is what happened, and this is why I didn't say this, because there's 2 sides of things right now. There's a spiritual aspect. You've heard what Siawana said. It's not a joke, it's serious. So many things, we need to pray more for our country as well. And then there's a physical side. So the spiritual side, it definitely needs to be dealt with in prayer. So if you pray for our nation, Zambia, because whatever deities they've signed up to, those are strongholds that we need to break. All of us, we need to pray over our nation, Zambia. But next year, we'll tell you more in depth the testimonies and the miracles that God is doing in the background. Yeah. So for now, the testimonies are there, but
there is also another one point I was trying to. Sorry. There's also another one point I was trying to think about, also concerning your issue of adoption. Because if you look at these same urban constituencies, you find that maybe on the UPND ticket, you face maybe other 5 candidates who are trying to be adopted on the same ticket. So that's where I feel the challenge is more like a mountain. You need to face the other maybe 5, maybe probably more old people in the party who are saying, no, why should you sideline us for the newcomer? Maybe you look like a newcomer, and the other guys who have been in the party maybe for a long time, and they feel like they're the ones who deserve more that seat maybe than you. Then after maybe winning that side, now you have the issue of the people now, who are likely to just swell and move with the wind of the party to say, you know, this party we respect this party. And for the parliamentary seat, there is nothing like 50% plus 1. Whoever has a slight majority carries the day. So that was again another part I was looking at.
Say on
okay, no, thank you so much. And Mr. Chishimba, make sure you also send me a message on my email so that we can add you to our WhatsApp group as well. Okay, can we please have Mr. David? Can we please have Mr. David, because he's been waiting, and then we'll have Felix, because I know Felix has enough Wi-Fi. Mr. David, how are you? Volume, sir. I think you need to unmute, and then hold your fire, Joanna. Mr. David, how are you?
Good evening, Lily. How are you doing?
Oh, fine, thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Can you get me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with what you're trying to do and what you've been doing anyway. You see, the biggest problem we have as a country is we all comment on issues we haven't done research on. Zambia was a multi-party system from 1964 to 1972. And the current happenings are the things which led to the Choma Declaration of Zambia becoming a one-party participatory democracy. What it meant is when we went into a one-party participatory democracy, it still allowed the event in which took place to become a member of parliament or a councillor. The competition was as steep as it is. But at that time, it was only under one party which was governing, which was UNIP, the United National Independence Party. In 1990, 4th of December, Kenneth Kaunda signed a referendum, which was supposed to be a referendum, but he signed a change of the constituency of the constitution and amended it alone on 4th of December to allow Zambia to go into a multi-party state. You see, if you follow all those backgrounds, you'll understand why we are in such a situation now. When the MMD took over in 1991, they did not amend the constitution. We went into a multi-party state with using a one-party participatory democracy constitution. So when you follow all those backgrounds, you'll see why people are so misled. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to divert your subject for today. There's a very big difference between what the people are saying about the accusations of the Minister of Health, the suspension of the 2 councils, and the morality issue of the Minister of Education. We should not try and personalize these issues. These issues are all different. The Minister of Health, someone made an allegation, the investigation wings investigated, and they found that he has a case to answer, and they've taken it to court. The issue is in court. He's not guilty until proven guilty. That's what the law says. If the president stands up today and fires Dr. Chirufya, he'll be interfering with the outcome of the case. So we leave that one out. Secondly, we come to the issue of suspension. It's not Mausamba, neither Kalungombe of Kitwe who's been suspended. It's the entire council. The entire council has been found wanting. All the councillors are suspended. And those councillors, most of them were sponsored by a political party. And in question right now, the political party which is highly affected is the Patriotic Front, because those members we are talking about were sponsored by the Patriotic Front. So that one out. So please, let's try and have a civic education before you allow people to comment on matters which they do not differentiate. I would really appreciate we should try and do what the late Lucy Shoni did in 1991, where she came up with a civic education foundation where you teach people what is what. So for now, I feel everyone is just commenting this, that, this. I think we are really getting misguided. So sorry, Lily, and I appreciate that you've come out in the open. You've openly come out that you are now standing on a UPND ticket, which is good. It's all about democracy. That's what democracy entails, participation of all citizens so long they can qualify. And the issue of the other guy advising you to stand in a rural community apart from Lusaka, I think is also misunderstanding what democracy is all about. Democracy is about competing and the best candidate gets it. The best party, and don't forget you're already trying to aspire as a UPND member of parliament. Under the UPND, you have guidelines. You'll be not campaigning as Lily. You'll be campaigning as Lily adopted by the United UPND, meaning you'll be selling the manifesto of the party. So you won't be going in as an individual, and that's where the problem is. People are still thinking in the UNIP days. Even in the UNIP days, someone was getting vented, and he sells the manifesto of the party. So there's a difference between an independent candidate and a person who's been sponsored by a certain political party. So the issue of Mao Sampai, the issue of the mayor in Lusaka, the reason why they've been affected is because they are councillors. In virtue of being a mayor, meaning you are a councillor, you are elected by the people. And the Minister of Local Government has found those two councils wanting. He hasn't personally suspended Mao's or the other mayor. No, he suspended the entire council. Yes, and if you look at the numbers of the people who are in that council,
maybe I can come in a little bit on my point. I want to defend myself a little bit.
Hold on 1 minute. I think on the part of the councillors, I'm happy they've been suspended because you know, I think I did a video a few months ago where I was complaining about Lusaka City Council. You know, people are not being paid, but the councillors are being paid. So on that part, well, I would be happy that that has happened. But with Mao Sampai, we're having questions because of what he's been doing. But again, him being the head of, you know, Lusaka City Council, from the video that I did, the people had said, those who work in Lusaka City Council, what they said was, Mao Sampai's hands are tied. There's nothing he can do. So, like, Mao Sampai might have observed a lot of wrongdoings in the council. The question is, why did he stay in the job? Why didn't he resign? You know, because then if he had complained as to what was happening within the council, and the other gentleman as well from Kitwe, Mr. Kangombe, I think they would have been preserved, you know, and they would have kept their jobs. What would you say about that?
I'll tell you again, a council works collectively. There are councillors from the opposition and councillors from the ruling party. It happens now that Mao Sampai happens to have been sponsored by the ruling party. He stood not as an independent, but as a councillor, someone representing the Patriotic Front, meaning his actions were collective. And the Minister of Local Government happens to be a member of the Patriotic Front. He was also sponsored by the Patriotic Front. Meaning, if the minister found it fit, he did not find it only fit to suspend Mao Sampai. He suspended the entire council, which is affecting the operations of the party in power. The reason of the suspension is not well known. I mean, we can all investigate it, but the minister felt that he needed to suspend those two councils because they were not in line with the sponsoring party. And him as in charge, He took action by suspending them. He did not suspend an individual. He suspended the entire council. So we should differentiate. If he had suspended Mausampa works as a mayor, but he doesn't do things alone. He's sponsored. The politician or as a councillor is sponsored on a political party. And his actions.
So for 3 months.
His actions, whether
so
his actions or not. His actions has affected the entire council. Yes.
So for 3 months.
3 months. Yes, 3 months. The minister feels in 3 months he would have come to sort out the issues which are affecting both councils.
So who will be running the council in the next 3 months?
In the minister mentioned it in his press briefing that he's going to appoint administrators who continue running the council. Yes, which is within his powers. What I would advise our followers and your followers is let's try and read our constitution and what governs this, what governs the local government, what powers does the minister have, what is this, what does it supposed to do when the council erred. I mean, this has happened even once before, once in MMD, the entire Livingstone Council was suspended for 2 years. It happens. The MMD suspended the council in Livingstone for 2 years. So it's something.
But somebody's just commenting that council suspension is unconstitutional. Here is a Constitution 152, Section 2. The national government and the provisional administration shall not interfere with or compromise a local authority's ability or right to perform its functions. What would you say about that?
What is the role of the Minister of Local Government if he cannot supervise his councils? We should all reflect and look at the roles which these people have. What is the role of the Minister of Local Government and Housing if he cannot supervise the councils? So we should also go back to the Local Government Act and see what is the jurisdiction of the minister? What is his role if a council in a particular area errors? What is his role? What role does he play to fix the situation, to remedy the situation? Because right now we should actually congratulate the Minister of Local Government and say, wow, he hasn't even looked at party lines. He's suspended councils where most of the councillors are his members from the same party. So I think he went above board, because for him to suspend a mayor who was elected on the party ticket, I think we should give him credit. What do you say about that?
Can I just come in? Can I just come in? Just a request there.
Yes.
Yes. If this part of the clause which has been quoted from the Constitution is saying then suspend. Yes. I'm asking that if the clause saying this minister or this minister cannot interfere, now is he allowed then to suspend?
He suspended the entire councillors. He's suspended the councillors because why? Is because they make a collective decision. A council is not run by a person. It's a collective decision. And when you look at it now, when you look at the numbers of the councillors who are suspended, the majority belong to the Patriotic Front. They were sponsored by the Patriotic Front. So the people who are really affected here is actually the Patriotic Front. But the minister went above boards and suspended those two councils because he feels there's something wrong they've done. And he's asked for 3 months. For those 3 months, he'll come back to the nation and tell us his findings. But for now, he felt comfortable by suspending them. So we should look at him and give him credit that Honorable Banda, despite the majority of the councillors who've been suspended belong to his party, but he's gone ahead and suspended them. So don't you think we deserve to give him credit for that?
For us,
Can
our
I come
question
in?
is, for us, the question is, why suspend the local councils when we are just in the middle of registering as voters very soon? I mean, there's lots of questions. Joanne, how are you? What would you like to say?
I'm okay, thank you. My question is, when you look at, first of all, what has been happening, there's been a lot of fights between the mayor and the minister. The mayor stood up to protect the Zambian people. Most of the time, especially Maus, whenever he comes out in a manner to discredit certain wrongdoings that are happening in the council. That are happening in the nation. And this is a person that has been affected. Why? If you look at what has been happening, there's been fights, like pulling of each other. The mayor does this, the minister does the opposite. And that is where the Zambian people have been questioning, why is it happening like that? You remember the fight where a councillor and a minister fought somewhere in Matero?
Yes, I do.
It was Mao Sampa who stood up and gave the direction of what the minister was supposed to be done. Before we realize this person is suspended. This is where now a layman.
Can I please cut you? You are wrong again. Please, let's not mislead the people who don't have access to what's been happening. The minister of local government and the minister of lands took a tour. They took a tour of the said plots and the said places where people raised issues. And they found that the container was placed under live electricity cables, which is very dangerous, not only for the person who's trading, but even for the people who are coming to buy.
Yes.
So they went on a tour, which from that tour, from the media which was reported, the councillor was actually invited on that tour, which decided not to show up. She did not turn up for that tour. So that exercise with the suspension of the two councils was a result of the tour. The local government minister and the minister of lands took it upon themselves to take a tour in the so-called areas. From the findings of that tour, that's what led to the suspension of the two councils.
Okay, now my point is okay. Now listen.
Personalizing the issue that the minister of local government and the mayor, his lordship, the mayor of Lusaka, have been pulling each other. That means there's a problem already. That means two of them don't know their boundaries. If they knew their boundaries, first of all, as mayor, you respond. Your first person you respond to is your minister of local government. So if you are
may I just come in as well? Maybe I try to.
You understand?
Excuse me, sir. Let me just add up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on, sir. Mr. David, hold on, because some people are losing signal. Let's just allow Mr. Chongo to speak because of signal.
Yes.
Chongo, you speak.
Yes, sir, let me. I think I stand to differ with you. Just there to say, that illegal container. I don't think that it was right for if at all that was the case, for the whole council to be suspended because of that illegal container and that, the fight of words between the councillor and the minister, which I don't think it can lead to suspend the whole council. Now, what makes people to speculate or maybe to have their own, speculations about the suspension of the council is because since the time when his worship started, visiting the premises of the Chinese, whatever he was doing, closing other, foreign-owned businesses and companies, we have been seeing these back and forth, controversy between the minister and his worship. And from nowhere, it just turns out to say, the whole council is suspended because of this and this and that, the illegalities. That's what makes us, because I'm also somebody who have been thinking of, is because Mr. Mausampa, his worship, has been so hard on some Chinese and these foreign-owned businesses. That's what makes us speculate that way. So to mention to say it's because of those illegalities of
Mr.
a container, it's what led this minister to
as an individual has no authority
I think that one
to do
will
what
not
he
agree
did.
to that, sir.
You should
hold
understand
on.
one thing.
So,
That's where you're going
Mr.
wrong. You are
Mausampa has no authority.
personalizing. You are personalizing
No,
issues.
explain. What are
Mr.
you saying again?
Mausampa
That
works
Mr. Mausampa
collectively with the councillors. For him to come up to a decision of going inspecting businesses, that means the council has accepted. They've sat down and debated. How are we going to handle this? Yeah, and don't forget, the mayor is
so was he doing
executive.
it on a personal level, like?
You should differentiate.
So was he just going without permission?
That we should find out after the 3-month suspension, or maybe the minister will give us more reason of why the council has been suspended for 3 months. That question must be answered by the minister himself.
Okay.
You should just not try. What I'm trying to advise, Mr. Mausampa is not an individual. He works collectively, and he's not been suspended as an individual. The entire council of Lusaka has been suspended. So you should understand that.
I don't know if I'm the only one who still remembers this, because even the mayor of Kitwe should be Mr. Kangombe. Also had some issues at some point which almost led him to be suspended at that time. I think today
it's very easy for the party to recall a member who's not following the tour order. If it was only involving the two people, it would have been very easy for the government or the party of the day to recall those members who are not tolling the line. You see, even Lillian.
Okay,
now,
give me a chance.
Even you,
give me a
Lillian,
chance to speak.
when you join the club called the UPND, if you go offline, they have the power to recall you. They don't have to suspend the entire Munali constituency because you've erred. So if this thing was specifically meant for the mayors, the party in power could have easily, the sponsoring party could have easily recalled them or suspended them. So you should differentiate.
They have never been suspending anybody. They have never been suspending anybody.
Okay, let me just read.
If someone is suspended, then this person, it means
it doesn't mean you have to suspend. If you suspend the mayor, you can't suspend the mayor and leave the councillors. I mean, the entire councillors, all the councillors have been suspended. It's not on account of the mayor.
Hold on. Okay, let me just read this from Ubiantanshi Bantu on Facebook. Ubiantanshi saying the council is a local government on its own and cannot be suspended by a minister. That is interference into the functions of the government and against the constitution. And then Ubiantanshi adds, the extent of a minister's authority is this. 116, section 2. A minister shall be responsible under the direction of the president for the policy and the strategic direction of a ministry, department, or other state institution as assigned by the president. And then Ubiantanshi adds, a local government is not a state institution. It is a government with constitutionally elected leaders and cannot be suspended by a minister. It is important that people understand the constitutionality of the law here. So the constitution, according to what many people have been saying, Mausampa should never be suspended. So is Charles Banda using other laws to suspend these guys.
That's the problem again, really. You see, the role
And
of
then
the
we have,
multi-party system. No, really, and wait. The role.
What?
The role of
Let
the
me finish.
multi-party.
She adds, the sentiments within a party should have nothing to do with the constitutionality of the minister's actions. I mean, it's important, at least we read what people are saying, because some of these guys, they're well qualified, they're lawyers, and if they comment, I mean, we need to read what they say. So let me allow Chishimba John to comment, and then we will have Joanne to comment, and then Yusa can come back. Chishimba John, what did you want to say, sir?
Okay, no, I just wanted to defend myself over the issue of when I mentioned it, to say no, I would love you to contest, for example, the rural constituency. It was just a suggestion, not saying it is not okay for you, but I'm just looking at the probabilities that are there, because if you can remember very well what happened, is it to GBM? He contested in Kavwata, he failed. He went to Kasama, he was one kick. In fact, that's my constituency as well, Kasama Central constituency. Yeah, so rural constituencies are much easier. So I was just trying to defend myself when someone said, no, I was trying to be what? No, I was just looking at the probabilities that are available for you, and looking at some of the competitive mountains you must climb for you to get your seat. If you can remember,
are more educated, are more civil on democracy than the people in the rural areas. What do you mean? First, clarify your points between what is your differentiation between urban and rural. What do you mean? You mean the people in the rural areas do not understand their democratic rights? What exactly are you pointing?
Okay, there are a lot of things that you can. There are a lot of things that you can look at. But let me finish my other part again. I'm talking about first of all the adoption process. Yes, the adoption process. Expect to face more than 5 people, right, to be adopted at right at the UPND ticket. So from there, it's a very big mountain to climb. Okay, I remember one constituency in 2016, first around we had about 11 candidates who wanted to be adopted on PF, should be Livingstone Central. So if you have 11, it's tough. Or you have even 6 who are facing you, it is also another issue. So you need to do your homework very well and ensure that you are known by the grassroots, even the entire party. So it will be very fine. I'm not saying it's not democratic or what, no, but I'm looking at the chances that are there, yes. So that was my part. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward to people who are assertive, people who are positive, like you, to be at least in front of us. At least we can have some hope. At least let's start after 2021, we start facing a different direction. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
okay. No problem. Let's get back to the topic by welcoming our brother Felix. Felix, how are you? Can you speak now, Felix?
I'm okay, Lydia. How are you? Yes, you can hear
fine,
me?
thank you. Yes. Back to the topic, please.
Okay, thank you very
people
much.
People are complaining. Yeah. What would you like to say about what we are discussing today, and the topic outlined about the president suspending the Minister of Education, is government Minister of Education, yeah.
Thank you very much. My contribution will take maybe different direction in 2 ways. First and foremost, we have realized that there are many instances where people have expressed their emotions of what is really happening in my country, in Zambia, and the Minister of General Education was just an unfortunate incident that happens, and the president, made the right decision to suspend him, so that we can uplift the morality that as people of Zambia have. But also we need to be thinking as a people, both from the girl side, the husband side, and the minister himself. We understand that as a minister, you have responsibility to carry as a public figure person. We understand that there are people, as a minister should know, there are people who wish him luck, and there are people who are always against him. And he should be, take time to evaluate his stance. For him to be in that position, and somebody posting pictures of him in a compromised situation, it is just unfortunate. And you see, one problem that I have seen in my country is sometimes we use emotions to judge. You see, what happened is not the only problem in Zambia. We have a lot of problems in Zambia. You've stopped talking about gold mine. Now we are focusing on small issues, small issues that we can solve ourselves. We are talking about Mukula trees. Who is talking about Mukula trees anymore? No one. You see? Who's talking about the foreign companies who are avoiding to pay tax in Zambia? There are so many companies avoiding taxes in Zambia. Right? But we don't speak of those. We don't want to get the fundamental issues in our country that is really affecting our economy. So when simple problems come like this, of course it is a problem because that man is a public figure person.
Yeah.
We shift our focus from the fundamental and we focus on one person.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what the internet has done. That's true. That's true.
That's the first problem. That's the first problem we have in Zambia. You see, we need to first focus on the major problems. What are the major problems that are happening in Zambia? We have seen many companies there. They come with their executive director, what from their own countries. Who is speaking against those? You see, no one is speaking. Because whether we change the Minister of General Education and put another person, how does that solve the real issue that we are facing as a country? It doesn't. It doesn't. So we as Zambians, I think we need to start focusing on the big challenges. I was listening here, and someone is talking about cadres. You see, we are talking about cadres. Let me ask all of us a question here. PF has cadres. UPND has cadres.
Yes.
So far, the major political parties that we have,
NDC
PF has
as well
failed
has
to
cadres.
control the cadres. NDC, yes, NDC has cadres. But NDC, because they are not so popular. PF has failed to control its cadres. UPND itself, before even it goes in power, has failed to control its cadres. We must just be open.
Yeah.
We must be open. We must be open and not criticize one side. They both attack each other parties. That is a sure sign that they have failed to control them. Now to come and say they are going to fix there will be no cadres. How?
Felix, they even attacked me. They even attacked me on social media. Because I said I want to stand on the that I want to stand on the UPND ticket, and I ignored them. But they're the ones who are making noise on social media. Who does she think she is? We only know this candidate. She's just come in. They even say that I'm looking for the youths of Zambia and form another political party. And they were ranting on social media. And I was like, who are these people? And I realized they were cadres. So it's a big problem that needs to be gotten rid of immediately. Otherwise, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you see, that's what we need to be discussing. How are we going to fix our economy? You see, at this juncture where we are we are going into election. Another problem that we have is with political opposition or political parties. And I can tell you, you see, there are people who have assumed that they are in power next year. They have already won the elections. That is the assumption they have. And believe me, PF is not down. PF are not sleeping to allow another person to take their position. They are not sleeping. And the opposition must wake up. Must wake up. Stop pretending like you are the president of Zambia. You are not. President Lungu is. And is not. You see, those PF people are smart. Give them a credit. They are smart. Right? I was following the by-elections, the local elections that are happening in Zambia. When maybe someone dies and they are winning.
Yeah. Like too much. 1,200 to 29. I'm like, okay, they have that's why they are saying no campaigning. There's COVID.
Yeah. You see, they are intelligent. They know what they are doing. And for opposition, they must start making strategy to come, not to start pretending like they are in office already, they are president, they are ministers. No.
Yeah.
You see, and one good part, I would comment on you wanting to become a member of parliament. One good part is this: for too long, we have been using the same MPs, electing them, re-electing them. They feel like no, there is no challenge. So for you to come up and challenge those authorities, it's a good move.
Thank you.
It's a very good move that needs to support from all Zambians. Whether you don't get elected or not, but there is already a challenge that has been raised. People are aware that there are others who are able to do what these ministers have been doing. There are others who are capable of doing it and can do it better. That is what is very good in this next year's election. That we do not just allow the same old ministers to be there again and again and again until it becomes the normal. So just play your cards right, speak your manifesto, make sure people know what you are doing, and stop. You see, don't be like the other political parties which depend on insulting each other. Show them a mature kind of politics. Be different. People will see. People are able to differentiate someone who's hiding behind the party and someone who's genuinely has interest at their heart. For long in Zambia, we've been in politics of name calling. No, this one is ABCD, ABCD, name calling. It has not helped us. It has not helped us at all. So for you going into that constituency, you know that the minister has been there. And for sure, there are a lot of people who respect her. Zambia respect her. There are a lot of people who look up to her. For you to come and challenge her, it's a good move. It's a bold step. Back it up with action. Speak. When I become your minister, when I become your MP, what I intend to do is ABCD. You see that? I will do ABCD. How? You explain, smartly, things that, people can see that these are achievable. Some of the people, the campaigns that are making, you just wonder how is it possible for them to do what they are saying?
Yeah.
The youth of Zambia are waiting. Right?
Yeah.
Let me just conclude by saying this. The youth of Zambia are waiting, but are not just waiting for anyone just to appear and say, no, there are youth people who come and work here. How? They need explanation. This is what I intend to do. And when I do this, this is the roadmap. This is how we are going to move. So far, the political parties, when they speak, you just like, okay, you have this idea. How are you going to achieve this? You know, and it's not systematic. You know, you're asking people to say, okay, we have seen what PF has done. How can you do differently from them? Right? How can you do it differently? These are the questions for discussion, you know. And lastly, when people were talking about Bill 10, you know, myself, I took time to read some articles in Bill 10. And there are some articles that I feel the amendment should go. For example, if you have people who have retired, right? In Zambia, we've seen that people spent millions of kwacha to get their benefit. And most of them, they don't get the benefits, they die. But there's a provision, should be 189 article, which says those people will be maintained on a salary until they get their benefit. That is something that can help the average Zambians workers who have retired and they cannot get their pension. At least let's give them honor. No, let's disagree on the content. You see, when the churches, one of the mother body churches said the consultation was not done thoroughly. I agree with that. But the content of Bill 10, some of the content that I have read, really, they need to look into it again and debate. How can we, you know, how can it help Zambia? We are not going to solve all problems by Bill 10. That is false. But there are certain things that it is addressing that as people should look at. Let's discuss. You know, let us remove the spirit of you know, if the opposition party says no, then all of us will say no. If the ruling party says yes, then other people will say yes because it is the PF who has said yes, or it is UPND which has said no, and everyone follows. No. Let us, all of us, ask questions. If this Bill 10 passed, what advantage did it bring on the table? Right? Let people answer questions over and over, not just once. You debate once and then you say people have understood. No. People need to know clarification. What does it mean? Because you know these articles in the constitutions, they are difficult to interpret. No wonder you are there. My father there was saying Mao Sampa was not fired as an individual but as a council. Because the interpretation is difficult. Even the lawyers themselves find it difficult to interpret. Right? If the lawyers can find it difficult to interpret, you and me who are lay people, no, we are not lawyers. You interpret it our way. And so for me, I encourage you, my sister, I encourage you, continue fighting. Continue fighting. Don't listen and comment to everything these people who do not want to see development says. Don't just comment, just leave them alone. That would be my humble advice. People are calling you Kada, people are saying, you know, you are from where. Leave them and focus on the job at hand. The job is huge. For you to waste time responding to people who don't want to see development in Zambia.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's my advice.
It's been a long live stream, and there's James Ripper. James Ripper, if you can just say something, and then we can conclude because we've overspent our time. I know people in America will wake up to a 3-hour live stream and they'll be wondering what was going on. James Ripper, how are you?
Okay, yeah, I'm okay, thank you. How are you, Lily?
I'm fine, thank you. What would you like to contribute to this live stream?
Okay, yes, yeah, you're welcome. Yes, it's been a very busy week for Zambia. That's what I can say, as we've gone through a lot of things. Yes, but the only thing that I would like to say is going through a lot like we are doing right now. It's not a matter of taking it very simple as Zambia. We have to reflect based on our moral values as our nation. Before we start saying whatever we're saying, before we politicize issues, let us look at our morals as Zambians. What are we raised to do? What are we supposed to do in order for us to change our nation? Because if we continue politicizing everything, we won't go anywhere. Before we bring in politics, let us look at our values. How are other nations outside looking at us? If we can see those things, how we analyzing those issues, let us bring in first our morals, then we bring in politics. What has happened really? Let me start with the issues of the minister. Of course, I saw one brother of mine commenting saying the president was wrong at firing him. Rather, he could have given him a foreign mission. Yes, that is a good opinion. But as far as I'm concerned, what will other nations think of us as Zambia, looking at what has happened? That thing has not been seen by only Zambians, but a lot of people have been seeing this. And this one is not just a blow for Zambia, but also by the party itself. So how can the president leave something like that happening? And you know, the share of the pie that PF has had on Zambia, it is reducing and reducing and reducing. Yes. So what we should be doing right now, before we bring in politics, I think we should first look at our values. We've not the president has not judged
I think. Are we losing him on connection, or is this just me?
Yes.
Okay, we were losing you on connection. Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm on. Yes, I was saying that though I came here late, I found something like maybe you being attached to some political interests. That is why I was encouraging you to say no, you should not blow off. You know, people who are able to bring development and get rid of things that we are facing right now are the people that we want. People are witnessing what is happening right now and thinking of changing the face of what we're going through as Zambia are the people that we're looking for. And seeing what is happening right now, we need people, youths. I think people who are looking at the problems that we're facing as youths and as the nation. So thank you very much for being given this time to speak and contribute on this live stream.
Okay, thank you so much for your support. Let's see, tomorrow is the 30th. We might have another live stream tomorrow, talk about something else. Joanne, if you could just conclude briefly, because I need to shut down the live stream. I've got a long day tomorrow. In Zambia, we wake up at
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, my last comment as follows. Longevity does not determine success. You coming into the scene does not mean you'll be a failure, but the content that you are going to offer to the Zambian people, who are us. People have been in politics for quite some time. That should not be a discouragement for you, or we shouldn't think you fail. It is about the content that you are going to offer. My other contribution is with reference to what the other contributor put across. Charity begins at home, which is true. Charity begins at home. However, poverty destroys good morals. That fact we cannot forget or ignore. That's why earlier on I did make mention there is need by the government to do more in terms of empowering the nation, creating of jobs so that people are empowered. If you look at the HIV levels here in Zambia, it is highly concentrated in the compounds and rural areas. Why? Because of the poverty levels. Why is HIV high? Because mostly young girls are the ones that are giving their bodies to people who seem to have resources, who are taking advantage of these poor people. Hence the emphasis that we need to do more as a nation. That is what we really need to do. Then just to add on the last comment with regard to what my other father commented, this platform, it's an educational platform. When we give out opinion, we are educating each other. We don't come here to mislead each other, like he pointed out. It is an educational platform. His opinion matters a lot to every person, just like another person's opinion is very important. He spoke sense. We learned something from his contribution. That does not mean he misled us. No, we are here to educate each other. Yes. Secondly, I'll still make mention this. The Zambia 20 years ago is not the Zambian today. People are educated. People are, people's eyes are opened. We have the opportunity right now to listen to this live stream where people are getting educated. The time when people would mislead people by virtue of lack of information is past that level. That's why it should not limit any person to stand in whichever area they feel like they can contribute positively. There are a lot of people in your area where you are going to stand who are educated and who want information that is progressive, not the old information. So though we need to understand the current situation at that level and avoid judgmental. Those are my last contribution for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe Irene is sleeping now, but let's continue tomorrow because we've got a long day tomorrow. Evaristo says, no poverty cannot destroy good moral, Naimwe. Chiluba Kaoma says, again, I'm happy that we Zambians are discussing our issues as a community. I don't know any other African states doing what we are doing. I might be wrong, but at least we are tackling our issues as one. Yes, we are, definitely. And on this platform, you know that despite our political affiliations, we don't come here as I belong to this party, let's discuss. We talk as Zambians and disgruntled youths and disgruntled adults. We're just here to share our concerns. So what I'll also suggest is, Felix, if you can grab the contact of Joanne, and then I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. And Irene, James Flip as well, and others who came on board, so that when we have, if we want us to discuss a particular topic, it would be good for you to just outline that, you want us to discuss this, and then we can focus on that. We can do as many live streams, even every day, discussing, because now we're heading towards the registration. So people need to be informed daily that in October they need to register. We've only just we are in August of the weekend. So August, September, October, we don't have much left, just a few weeks left to register as voters. So we need to emphasize on the issues and what we want to see. Believe you me, what we discuss here goes very far. As far as the head of state and people close to him, people listen to what we say. Don't even think we're wasting time. What we do here is, we've seen what, the empowerment initiatives that have suddenly begun. It's because of what we discuss on these live streams. So see you tomorrow at if there is power. Now I can confess that I'm in Zambia. The reason why I couldn't have live streams at 6 o'clock because there was no power. But before I couldn't tell Felix, I don't know if you know now that I'm in Zambia. I couldn't I couldn't tell everyone that I was in Zambia then, but now that you know, yes, if there's power, we can start 6, 7, 8. Even we can even do from 6 to 7, one topic, end stream, have 30 minutes break. From 7:30 to 8:30, finish like that. If we have, so you can suggest topics. All your topics are welcome. Even people who are watching, the viewers on Facebook, on YouTube, you can send emails to me, lilamutamstv@gmail.com, and send a message to Joanne. Please communicate, Chola. Give us your line, give Joanne your number. Joanne, if you can give each other's numbers. But my number is also on my page, community tab. You can send me a message there if you are wherever you are. Then I'll refer you to Joanne, and then we can have a more focused topic all the time. Yeah. So anyone who wants to be added to the WhatsApp group, contact Joanne. So thank you so much, everyone. That's my email, lilamutamstv@gmail.com. It's been amazing. I know we can stay here till 5 o'clock. I know there's a lot to talk about. So see you tomorrow, everyone. Okay, thank you. Irene, good night. James, good night. Felix, good night. Joanne, good night. So people are sending messages on Facebook.
Good night. Well.
So Joanne, if you can go to my Facebook page, like page, and you see comments of numbers. I don't know how you communicate with people, so that at least we can have topics, even 5 topics. We can even do 4 topics in a day and cut them like that, because we need to emphasize on people voting wisely and being informed. I was shocked. My mother didn't know what butane was. People, not everybody knows. We are online, we are talking, but when I was telling her, do you know about butane? She was like, I just heard the other day this minister was talking about, many people have no idea. So these live streams are very important so that we can all be aware of the truths. So, Mr.
Really, just a second.
Yes.
Just a second.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably you can get us a Gazette paper where the butane articles are articulated. I don't know if you are in Zambia. Maybe you can get a Gazette. Yeah, so that next time when we are speaking, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, there is one on PDF, I think, that you can share on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
if you
Chola,
can get it for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chola and Joanne, don't log off. Just stay. Even when I end the live stream, you guys can give each other's your numbers. Yeah. So just stay at the background. Don't log off. Just stay in the background. When I finish the live stream, you guys can discuss and give each other numbers. I'll add you back so that you can discuss. Okay. Don't log off completely. Just stay there in the background. I'll be back. So thank you so much. It's been amazing having you all on this live stream. 3 hours. We had more than 10,000 people in and out. I'm sure we have 10,000 views. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Now,